Other side.
I've been in a hurry since I don't know when. Gotta bring it on back, start over again. Yeah, I'll bring it on back to a nice old page, the kind where a guy like me wins a race. Yeah, slow it on down. Take the time it takes to take a real good look around. Yeah, bring it on back to a nice old page, the kind where a guy like me wins the race. Well, I got me a woman, yeah, she's better than most. Yeah, I get the space I need to really cut and loose. Yeah, she slows it on down to a nice old page, the kind where a guy like me wins the race. You slow it on down. Take the time it takes to take a real good look around. Yeah, I'll bring it on back to a nice old page, the kind where a guy like me wins a race. You slow it on down. Take the time it takes to take a real good look around. Yeah, I'll bring it on back to a nice old page, the kind where a guy like me wins a race. Yeah, slow it down. Slow it on down, guys. Good vibes only to you. Always good vibes. Always good vibes on to all of my beautiful people out there. Appreciate you guys. Have a great day. All right. Good morning, everybody. I see you out there, Brother William. How you doing? See, Gaston Guitar Covers. Happy birthday to you, my brother. Happy birthday, man. February, man. It had some nice birthdays in it, in my personal opinion. But shout out to you, brother. Happy birthday, Magic Healing Jimena. How you doing? She says I'm going live at noon Central Time, 1 p.m. or 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. If mental health and hippy dippy is something that resonates with you, okay, I see what you're saying. I get it. I get it. Cool, cool. Hola, 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 my friend. Hola. Now that's about the length of my that's a good education for me today, and then maybe tomorrow we can learn one more, and I just keep adding to it. And the next thing you know, I'll probably not be able to do very good, but I try. The little guys out here, that my wife, her sister used to, back when they was kids, they dated one of the one of the fellows that work out there at the little restaurant, and she's friends with him. You know, my wife's friends with him now, and we go out there, and they all know our family, and I go out there, and used to be that we went out there so much. Whenever we went out there, then back in my drinking days, then I'd go out there, and I didn't even have to order. He'd bring me a shot of 101 and a tall boy, Budweiser, because I'd always just have me a shot of liquor while we was there. But anyway, uh, I'll try to speak sometimes to him, like try to use his native language, and he just laughs at me because my wife can do pretty good, like saying some stuff. Like she does good at it. With some things, it sounds right anyway. I don't even know if I don't even know what she's saying, but it sounds good. So I'm like, okay. So I try to do it, and he just laughs at me. They love it because they know I mean it in the most fun way. Because I'll try to it's come out something slick, and I know it don't even sound nothing like what. And he just laughs at me like, no, no. It just be like, no. Yeah. But my kid's been out there so much that he's like a little rock star when he goes out there. All of them know him. He's been going there for years, and my wife and I've been going out there for a long time. So shout out to you guys. I always just have fun with other languages, but I really mean it in the most respectful way because I really push people up that can do both. Because I have tried. While I was locked up, I was with a fella. His name was Carlos. I won't say his last name, but his name was Carlos. And man, he was well. I mean, he could speak English and Spanish, and we happened to bunk just a couple bunks away, and we played Scrabble together all the time because I love Scrabble. And anyway, we would sit there and play Scrabble and stuff, and I would ask him questions about like just different things about his home country and everything and where he was from. And he would tell me stuff, but then he could give me simple phrases that I could start trying to learn with him, right? So we started trying to do it, and finally I was just like, you know what? I like hearing about it and everything. I like to try certain ones. The ones with the dirty words, that was always my favorite. I always kind of learned them, and they stuck with me well. The ones that was telling grandma howdy and whether you had some groceries, kind of just not seem to stuck. I don't know why. It might just be a me thing. I ain't real sure. But happy birthday to you, brother Gaston. I see you, brother William. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, hey, you know what, Gaston? You're gonna have to play us a tune today, brother. Uh, Hola, she said I nailed it. I got that one right, didn't I? I got that one right. Hey, thank y'all. Thank everybody. Hey, there's brother Desi. I see you, man. I see you. How you doing, brother Desi? Good morning to you, man. Thank you for being here. This is Guy and Shine, 10 to 1 Eastern Standard Time. I see brother Shine down here in the house. What's up? What's
Wow, it's
up?
cracking. What's happening?
I mean, hey, I got to start talking about foreign languages. Hey, them little dudes out here at the Mexican restaurant, and
Yeah.
it's a good restaurant, man. Me and my wife go out there and eat, about once a month, something like that.
Right.
But hey, I'll try to like speak to them sometimes. Like I'll think I have something, like I got it, like,
Yeah.
and they just look at me like,
¿Dónde
no.
es la biblioteca?
Yeah, and they're like, no, no, no.
My barber, they're most of them are from El Salvador, and like up here, so it's triple down, because a lot of them don't know English or French, so I had to like learn a little bit, like they're like, no, take it back here and stuff. So now he's like, okay, so we can get through it. French is
Hey,
kind
they
of
look
close,
at me.
but
They'll look at me like, and they'll like look and study for a second,
he's
like
trying. He's
and then
trying.
it'll be like, no,
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 that was like when I was trying to
no.
learn French. Like when I moved up here, it's like, okay, I really got to try to learn French because it's a big part of the culture, right? And I'd be like, "J'ai besoin les," and they're like, "Just what do you want?"
No.
In
Yeah,
English, they'd flip right
just
away. I'd be
talk
like,
to me, man.
Let me
Just talk
try.
to me,
Just let me
man.
try."
Yeah, because they actually speak better English than I do out
Yeah,
there, so
yeah,
they
yeah.
don't need me to try to,
No.
to
No,
you
but
know.
but the effort, I know, is, you know what I mean. Like I like
Sometimes
to try to make an effort.
and I know that it makes them laugh because they know
Yeah.
I'm playing. Like guys, y'all know I can't. Y'all know that this is probably not even a language. They, like what I'm
I
saying
think
is
it's
probably
a dialect, really.
yeah, like it's probably not even real. So don't mind me. You know what I'm saying? But they have a good time with me because they know that it's like, hey, I went out. I got a picture I'll share with you guys. But they were out at the little restaurant. They got this big old dude that's standing there with a broom in his hand, but like he's playing a guitar.
Oh,
this
way.
big, well, one of them big hats,
Yeah.
one of the big ones, man.
10-gallon hat.
Sombrero, you know.
Oh,
what I mean?
sombrero. Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
I had my wife take me some pictures. I put my arm around the dude that owns the place. Was standing there smiling, and yeah, he was laughing at me.
Those things are cool. Is he like
they
a
are.
giant like thing?
Oh,
or is
it was like life size.
Okay, gotcha.
It was life size.
Yeah.
Fairly handsome fella.
You-
Kind of
you-
reminded you of Juan
Maybe-
Valdez from the coffee commercial,
Ah,
except bigger.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah,
gotcha.
yeah.
Rocking
He
the
was.
broom.
Yeah,
Rocking
he
the
was
broom.
cool.
Yeah.
I'll show you a picture. I got it on my phone, man. I had my.
That's
I was
cool.
so proud of myself. I was
I'd
like, I
probably print
remember
that
to
and
do it.
frame that, man. I'd have that up
Yeah.
in the background.
Yeah, I will. Oh, that's a great idea, Sean.
Yeah,
Genius,
man.
genius level stuff.
There you
I will
go.
do that. That's a perfect idea, actually. Okay, that's a
Yeah.
great idea.
Yeah.
I'll see if that'll be easy, actually.
Yeah,
I know how to do
that's
that
easy.
now,
That's
Sean.
an easy fix.
Yeah,
huh?
that's cool, man.
We used
Shout
to-
out to Arthur. I see you there. I hope we're saying that properly, but
Yeah.
either which way,
I think so.
that
Nice
is
seeing
our
you.
friend.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you.
Oh, and
Good
happy
vibes
birthday,
to you.
Gaston. Welcome. You're a February guy too, right? So, it's you know what? Before meeting Guy, I never met another person in my life that had a male who had a birthday in February. You're the first one.
Okay,
that
he
I,
said he
that I
sent-
know.
He said he sent. Oh, unfortunately, my son's home from school, a little sickly today. Well, I hope he feels better, brother.
Yes, yeah.
But I did send guys some tunes from me to play. Okay.
Oh, cool.
All right.
Cool.
Well, Sean, I'm gonna dip back in the back for a second and go look for these. So go look and see if I can find work. Cause man, sometimes my email section is not exactly as organized as it probably should be.
I find that hard to believe.
Shout
really.
out
I
to
mean,
Krista Flash, shout out to Gaston, shout out to Arthur, shout out to everybody here. I'll see you on just a few minutes. Sean, I'm out. I'll be right back.
No problem. All right, so good to see all y'all. I hope you're having a good day so far. I'm gonna play a track for you. It's called "The Common Folk," and I wrote it here the other day just after seeing some stuff on the news, and the news isn't something I like too much anymore. But you know, you got to know what's going on out there and just kind of fact check your stuff. And I guess the short version of that could have been a very long story. Is that what this is? Excuse me. Let's do this again. That is what this song is about. I'll play it for you now. We'll see you in a few minutes. Thanks for hanging out. Guy and Shine 1. I'm not even going to try it. Here we go. Lately I've been thinking things could be just, and not only in the sense of the word, but we could really build trust. And I know it sounds like a stretch after all that we've been through, but if someone like myself can do it, why the hell can't you? Baby, we're living on something that just don't exist. And how long will it take for action or to raise your fist and say you defy traditional ways? But it's time my mind's amalgamating. I won't sit around anymore waiting for someone to save me, that's for sure. But baby, that's for sure. This country was built on the backs of the working class, and now you've got all these billionaires on their asses telling us how it's gonna be. Well, I don't know about you, can only speak for me. I'm sick of the shystiness and everything in between. When together we are always gonna work. Come all the nastiness, the absolute obscure. Give them what they want, they think they're sleeping, but baby, guess what it is. We're all waking up, and I ain't talking about wokeness. I'll see you around, see you around the next 7 minutes. Nah, this is how this ends. Welcome, 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 one and all, to the Guy and Shine Show from 10 to 1 Eastern Standard Time. That was a song by myself called Common Folk, and I think we got Gaston.
I think I
ready to
found
go.
his stuff, brother. Well, I know I found it, and I've got it pulling up, and I think I figured out how to share one that Brother Williams sent.
Hey, man.
I'm learning
Nice.
stuff, guys. Y'all
Nice.
got to understand, I'm new to all this stuff, so some of these things and stuff that I got to do, I'm learning how to
We're
do it.
coming
But
into week 4, I realized today. Week
Yep.
4?
see, the ones I think, if this works out with Brother Williams, I think this is one that I was able to figure out how to take from text message over to my email, and now if this works, then this means that I figured this out. Well, I don't know yet because I ain't tried to load it up, but I was able to download it. So if I was able to download it, more than likely it's going to pop up here.
Perfect.
But I did find the 3 that Gaston. I got those 3. There, I got one loading up. As soon as it gets
Thank you,
done
Bill.
processing, we're gonna jam out to some Gaston guitar covers. I think it was 7 Spanish Angels by Garth Brooks that I started. Well,
Okay,
it's
cool.
a cover that Garth Brooks done.
Right.
7 Spanish Angels. But Gaston guitar. I
I got a
you.
question for you. I keep wanting to do this Johnny Cash song, and it's like, hear the trumpets, hear the prayers, 100,000 voices singing. You know that song?
I do.
That's the only
think so.
words I know, and I don't know the name of it.
I'll think on that for a minute, and
Okay.
I'll probably be able to.
It just popped in my head, and I
Yup.
said, the guy would probably know that right off.
There's our friend with the most outstanding, most
The-
clear,
Yep.
precise
Most
answers
answers
ever.
you can get.
You ask her a question, hey, V, and I like that. V, I like that.
Yes.
Thank you very much, V.
No.
Right,
Yes.
I like that. Very precise.
Right to the point. Right
Yes,
to the point.
I like that. Thank you very much, V. We appreciate you. This is Guy and Shine, 10 to 1 Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. We appreciate
you, guys.
everybody being here. Good vibes to everybody.
So
we
how
see
old
our
is Gaston
friend.
today? Do we know? Can't
I
be
would
more
say
than
he just turned
25.
19, 20.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought 25, but I mean,
I don't know. I don't. I
not
was
great
just
with
guessing.
age.
I don't.
Not
I
great.
hate to guess people's age. You might get it wrong.
yeah.
Lucy Warren's World. We see you there. Thank you for being
is it?
here.
Old
yeah.
enough to
yeah.
know
He
better.
said 21.
Yeah, old
I
enough
was
to-
close.
Yes.
I was close.
So technically, you're old enough to know better, but still too young to care.
Yeah. Yeah.
there you go.
You know.
That's a reference.
We could tell, Gaston, that you still had
I'm old
your,
enough
baby
to
face.
know
But I could
better.
tell by the baby face that you was clearly no more than 22.
No.
Clearly no more than 22.
Yes. It reminds me of that movie with Adam Sandler, and like he's trying to find these basketball players, and this like giant dude from Russia shows up.
Yeah.
And he's like, "So it says on your paper you're 22 years old." He's like, "Yes, 22."
Yeah,
And then
22.
this other kid walks in and he goes, "Well, who's that?" He goes, "Son." And he goes, "How old is he?" 10 years old.
10 years old. God, this family ages quick.
Yeah, it's like when you started ready to rip, man.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody in the house. We got Levin. This is a happy birthday to Gaston Guitar Covers. This is a song that he sent me. I have not previewed this file, Gaston.
I hope you're mostly dressed. I mean,
So, yeah, this better not be a surprise gift of any sort.
Look who's
from
naked.
Guy and Shine, because I'm going to tell you, once I start giving gifts, they never stop. Because
Never.
I'm that guy.
Don't
I'm
give
that
him
guy.
anything. Don't give him
I'm the
anything to work
one-upper.
with.
I'm the one-upper. You can get me, and I'm good with that. But then I'm gonna get you too. I'm coming.
You even hear it in his voice. It gets higher as
Yeah.
it gets more aggressive. So just
like I get excited now. I tell you, no man. Happy birthday to you, brother. Guy. If I
Absolutely.
didn't trust you, I wouldn't even play it. But I already know
we're
it's
messing
what you
with you,
said
bro.
it is. So thank you very much.
Appreciate you.
7 Spanish Angels by Willie Nelson. My bad.
Willie
I don't know
Nelson.
why I said Garth Brooks. I think he done a cover of it too. But
probably.
he's got another one loaded up here that is by Garth Brooks, and that's why I had that on my mind. But
It happens. I mean,
7 Spanish. Oh, wait a minute. 7 Spanish Angels by Gaston Guitar Cover.
It's amazing.
This is a Willie Nelson tune.
Originally.
Originally.
Moving on. Play the track.
Moving on. Yeah, let me take that on off. I feel like I'm feeling my. Yeah. Shout out to Gaston Guitar Covers. Happy birthday, brother. This is 7 Spanish Angels, a cover of Willie Nelson's song by Gaston Guitar Covers.
Seven Spanish angels took another angel home.
All right. Shout out to Gaston.
Yeah, that happened. oh.
I appreciate that, Sean.
Yeah,
That's a nice. It's a nice gesture from you, man. Thank you.
Oh my god. Okay, I got caught in two things there. It's like I was putting the guitar down, then I see this clearly statement that I've issued. And it's just, I stand behind what I say. You can't.
I do too. I stand behind what he says this time.
I knew this was coming. I should have been prepared.
I was like, I was
But, you
sitting
know.
here and I'm like, oh wait a minute, I can type like it's him typing.
Yeah, I know. Like Tommy.
I was
Tommy,
gonna come
you
out
didn't
with
tell
one
us
of them
that.
big ones, but I was like, I don't want to spend the whole time on here. I was gonna talk about how awesome everything was.
Oh yeah, just I've had such a privilege
Yeah.
being here. It's
Yeah.
been amazing. What a mentor.
I gotta
One
make
day
clear.
I hope to grow up to be you.
I gotta make clear that I appreciate Sean and his message right here, and I had nothing to do with that.
No, I mean it's
know,
just friends.
that's
you know,
friends.
That's what friends are for.
It's friends. It was basically a YouTube hug
Well, yeah.
from Sean the guy, and I appreciate that, Sean. I appreciate that, bro. Thank you, thank you. I feel
It's the least I can do.
I feel comforted.
Just you know.
I'm a heck of a lot better now. But now that was
Excellent
funny. I
song.
got to tell everybody. Hey, the way that we've got it set up here, you know, Sean's an administrator on the page and everything, so he's able to pretty much see everything that I'm able to see, including setup and all that. But on this thing down here at the bottom, when somebody's streaming off of my StreamYard like this, whether it be Sean or Tommy or whatever,
Whoever.
then I've got this option down here that I can send a message like it's from
Anybody
Sean.
who's in there.
Yeah, like I can write a message out like Sean sending a message out, and I can.
It's
I mean,
funny
you
that
can.
you thought of that because I was gonna do it to Tommy yesterday.
Yeah.
It's just something ridiculous. Tommy Kenyon.
Oh, we got. Oh, his day's coming.
Oh, yeah.
His
time.
day's coming.
He's probably
man.
listening. We shouldn't say his name again. He'll.
No. Move on.
Next
No,
subject.
that's super duper producer.
Yeah,
No,
that's
that's our
it.
super duper producer, Tommy Kenyon.
Yeah, super duper
Shout out to
technical.
Tommy Kenyon Media.
Something. I forget it every time, but it's a good handle. It's a good one.
It is a good one. Shout out to What the Quack's in the house, Brother William, Melissa Bandy. Good morning, Mama Missy. How
morning,
you doing
Bandy
this
family.
morning? Gen X Effect.
There you go.
Hey man, thank
That's a
you for
cool
being
name.
here.
I like
It
that
is
name.
a cool name.
I like
It
that
is a
name.
cool name, and it sticks out like it's different enough that you see it. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
man.
saying? Like
Yeah,
when you're
dude.
scrolling.
Plus,
you know,
Gen
man.
X was, let's just face it.
Hey, I mean that's
The
it.
best.
I mean, you know,
Not
hey, shout out to
picking sides
85,
or
man.
anything, but
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, man. Hey, Lucy Warren's World, we appreciate you being here, brother Desi. V, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. And our brother Arthur. Pretty sure from Russia, but thank you. Appreciate you being
I'm
here.
not sure, like if it's Arthur or Arthol. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
I'm not
sure. But either way, appreciate you being here. And
Indeed.
almost every day I see you, so I appreciate you. And again, just cool with the whole networking thing, and somebody popping in here in a tune, and then like, I don't know, music. Like Will said it yesterday. What is it? Music's the universal language. William said that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I read that, and I meant to say something about it, but yeah, I agree. It's wild what a song can do, or you know what I mean, pull together. It's pretty crazy. So
Well, and no matter what language you speak, if you're playing bluegrass, it's bluegrass.
yeah, if you feel that vibe, you know what
well,
I mean.
it-
Like you
it-
don't even
what-
need to know the words. Like
You don't have to be able to speak each other's language to play the same music. The music's language stays the same, whether it's blues
Yep.
or bluegrass or mariachi or whatever it is. The style.
Mariachi.
Oh man, that's one I never could pick up on real good just
It's
because
hard.
of the beat,
It's hard,
the
yeah.
off timing compared to what we do. It's off
yeah.
a little bit, so it's like it's hard. But
It's
I
tricky.
mean,
I
it's
tried
fun.
a few times. And I'm like, man, I just can't. Like, I could get started, but I couldn't flow. You know what I mean?
I couldn't play like a song and try to sing it or anything like that, or even play like to play along with people would be tough for me right
What's
now.
crazy too is it's amazing that like you see like four dudes standing beside each other, not looking at each other at all, and just like it's like that's incredible. How
It
are you
is
doing
incredible. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Gaston. Happy birthday, brother. We'll be playing
happy
some more
birthday,
yours. I got all of them that I think you sent me. And brother William, gonna be playing one of yours here in just a second. We're gonna see if that didn't work. Desi, thank you for being here. Magic Healing, Jimena, appreciate you. Thank you very much. She has a live coming up today. I
Who
think she
does?
said
Sorry. Who?
Jimena,
Oh,
Magic
Jimena.
and Healing.
Okay,
Mhm.
got you. Yeah,
I think
good.
she said 1 o'clock standard time. You can put your stuff down in there, Jimena, if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, drop your
you
link
feel
if you
welcome
want.
to do that,
Yeah.
by all means. But I encourage everybody go support Magic of Healing. We support that kind of channel, especially from our standpoint. There's never too much to be spoke on about it, and to bring awareness to it. So to mental health struggles and just other things, just things that people are going through. So shout out to you, Jimena.
Yep.
Shout out to Surviving Together, Miss Mac. We appreciate what you're doing. And from Guy and Shine, anytime you need anything from us, if you want us to anything, if you want to come on here and share about anything, then it's a ask away. You got nothing to lose but your ask. And I promise you,
love
you've
that.
got everything to
That's gonna
gain.
be a shirt. That's gonna be a shirt. That's definitely gonna be a shirt.
It's
That's
a good
great.
one, ain't it?
It's
Yeah,
a
it's
good
a good
one.
one.
I never. Yeah, you got a couple. I like the too far ahead of my skis and nothing.
Yeah.
But your ass.
Yeah.
Because I always thought in my head like nothing worse than a question not asked. And then I remember saying that one time. You're like nothing to lose but your ass.
Yeah.
I was like that's
Yeah.
perfect. That's
I'm going to
perfect.
go over here while we're talking and see if this pulls up Brother Williams for us.
It looks
If
like
this
it did.
works, then that means I've got this.
You'll be working for NASA next month.
That file's a bit too large.
It's just over the 200 mark. How's that possible?
Present button at the bottom of the page lets you share video.
Yep.
Oh, that's right.
That's the workaround.
Here we go.
That's the
Here we
workaround.
go.
Yep.
Here we go. Oh my goodness. I feel like a guru right now.
Yeah, dude. I don't even understand why that like.
I don't
Well,
know
I
if
guess it's
this
just
is
a
it.
space or whatever, but yeah.
I
that's
guess
how
it
we
would
get
have
around.
probably helped if I named it something like that had to do with William.
Yeah.
That would have probably really. You know what? I have to go? I have to go play it first, though, don't I?
No. All you need to do, if you got that downloaded, you click
Yeah.
the present,
Yeah.
but name it something so you can find it, right? Because if you can't find it, then you can just punch in Will, hypothetically.
Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. So, yeah, there you go. That's working.
Is it playing?
Well, it's playing like down there in the background, but
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
you got to turn your volume on the member on the screen.
I got it turned.
Do you?
Yeah, think so. Let me go back over here and make sure.
Yeah. It does look like the volume is on.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Ah, boy. There you go. Look at you go. All right.
Let me go start it over, man.
Yeah. Take it back. All right.
All right, now.
Good job, man. Well done.
Thank you, man. Hey, now we're on. Now.
Now we're on.
Uh-oh. Oh, we can yeah, okay. I know. I got okay. Okay. Oh, that makes me so happy, dude. Shout out to Brother William, man.
Yes, sir.
Dude.
There we go.
Dude. Oh. This is so awesome, man. Hey, we got it, Brother William. We got it, dude. We figured it out, man. Shout out to you. I see you, Desi. Shout out Gen X Effect. I see you guys, Gas and Guitar Covers. I see you. What the quack? What's going on in the house? I see you. Thank you all. Shout out to 9 people in the house. This is Brother William down here picking. Brother William down here picking. I was just wondering why he was going so slow.
I mean,
don't
really,
know.
he should be going.
I mean,
did
if
he
it was
put
me,
this
I'd
in
have done it a
slow
little bit
motion?
faster, a little bit cleaner,
Yeah.
a little less edgy. But hey, I'm not one to critique another man's work.
Never.
Being as we're backstage and nobody can hear us, I mean, I'm just saying that I think he could have, I think he could have studied the song a little bit more. I think he could have knew the history. He could have probably, took some time
Yeah.
and understood what it meant, and then maybe his plan would have wrecked it. But I'm not going to say that out in front of everybody.
Don't.
We'll just wait And we'll just push him up. All right, let's just push him up. All right,
Okay.
let's go up
All
front.
right, you
Let's go
ready?
up front here.
Oh, okay.
All right, good
that was
job, Brother
amazing.
William. That was amazing. Probably
Definitely
some of
the
the
best
best
I've
flat
ever
picking
heard.
I've ever heard in my life.
Incredible.
Outstanding job.
Don't let no one tell you different.
Don't let no one tell you different. We was just backstage before when that song was finishing
Oh.
up. Y'all couldn't hear what we were saying, but we were talking about.
And we were,
Wow. Wow. That's what we.
Like,
that's
I
pretty
did-
much all both of
I
us
went
said the
back
whole
like
time
that.
we were
I
back
felt
there. We
like-
were like, whoa,
whoa.
whoa. I had to catch myself and Sean one time. Like I had to put my arm out like that because I seen him going back, and I was like,
Yeah,
whoa,
he
whoa,
caught me.
whoa,
He caught
whoa.
me like that.
whoa. Whew. Great job, Brother
Well,
William.
what
You
are we
know,
gonna follow that up with now?
I mean,
I mean,
you know,
can't- you
there
can't-
ain't a whole lot you can do.
Not
There's
much
not
you
a
can
whole
do.
lot you can do at this point.
Oh my man!
Shout out to
Excellent
Krista
job,
Flash.
dude. Seriously,
We seen
That's
you
great job.
earlier. Yeah, hey, shout out, Brother William. You know you're a picking
Yeah.
fool, man.
Yeah,
We
unreal.
appreciate you being part of the family here at Guy and Shine. Oh, Brother William coming in, stopping in, hanging out from time to time on the Guy and Shine After Dark show.
Gaston's in on it too. He's like, "Yeah, I can do that too. I just don't want to put him
I
up and
know.
embarrass him."
I know. I feel the same way, Gaston. I'm like, why would I do that?
Yeah,
It's
you
all, I
know.
mean, why would I do that? That's
There's
selfish.
room for everyone.
There's room for everybody.
Everybody.
And for
Okay.
those of us that know that we need to allow more room for people, then we do what we have to do. And you know, but thank you for being that kind of a man, Gaston. Thank you. And me and Sean pushed that up because we
do.
feel the same
We
way.
do. Sometimes you need to know when to.
I
lean
only
back.
play my mediocre songs.
Yeah, well,
I don't play my good.
never. Got to save something for later. I mean, you know.
I'm trying to leave room for everybody else.
Next subject.
Gen X effects in the house. Gaston guitar covers. Appreciate you, Brother William. Shout out to 12 people in the house. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you guys, Brother Desi.
Oh my god.
Like-
William, you're the best, dude. I can't.
Yeah,
I can't. Like I try to be. Like I try.
You know.
You know. I try.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it happens sometimes.
It
But hey, shout out to you, Brother William. We got another one by Gaston Guitar Covers. I can pull up. I wanted to make sure that it was actually going to do it, but now that I know it will, then I'm gonna pull up this one. I'm gonna pull up Bella Woods because I know I love that song.
Yeah.
That's Garth. That's why that's where I seen the Garth Brooks cover at. But we got another one by Gaston Guitar Covers coming up. And we've got more. You know, we've got more.
Oh, we got all sorts. We're not one trick ponies around
No,
here. You know what I
no,
mean?
no.
We're
We
at
got
least
two or three.
Yeah.
Well, if you add her both together, we got
together,
a few.
but 3.5. But
Yeah,
you know,
4.
better than one trick.
I like
pony.
I like even numbers. Let's go with 4
All right.
because
No, you
I don't feel like that's stretching it.
You like even numbers. You said.
And it's a good reason.
Fair enough.
You know what? This is God's honest truth. My wife's sitting right out here. She can tell you this is true. When I adjust the TV remote, or if I'm in the car, or on anything that I put a number on myself, then I adjust it to an even number.
I know we've had this discussion
I
one
sure
time,
do.
and
That's
I
it.
recall it.
It's weird, but I sure do. Like if I'm out there and my wife adjusts
It's not
it,
weird.
I'll be like, "Hey, honey,
There's
hit
nothing
it
weird
up
about
or
that.
down once." She'll stop it on an odd number
Just
and
to
I'll be
mess
like,
with
"Man,
you.
come on, go up one or down one. Come on, man."
There's still a choice here.
There's-
we can
I
work
mean,
this
come on.
out.
Come
Let's
on,
don't
man.
be civil now.
Like, gosh, you gotta be like that. You know what I mean?
No.
You're like, come on. Now, that's the truth, though. It really is. That's odd, but I've
Yeah.
been like that. I don't even know. Well,
I've
I
been
guess
like
most
this
of my
whole
life.
life. My whole life, I've been like that. My number, like we talked about numbers, but same thing. Like 1, 3, whatever. Give me 3's my number. That's always been my number. For some reason, my mind recognizes things in 3's, and when I go with that, I follow that pattern. It's always worked out great for me, right? So why not work with what you know? You know, try to learn a little bit more on the side. So,
We got Bella Woods, Garth Brooks cover
yep.
by Gaston Guitar Covers. Brother Gaston, friend of Guy and Shine. This is Guy and Shine, 10 to 1 Eastern Standard Time. Nothing but good vibes to all of you, my
every one of
friends.
But for just one fleeting moment, the answer seems so clear. Heaven's not beyond the clouds, it's just beyond the fear. Though heaven's not beyond the clouds, it's for us to find it here.
All right. Appreciate everybody being in the house. This is Guy and Shine, 10 to 1 Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. Appreciate you guys. Magic Healing Jimena, thank you very much for saying that. We appreciate you being here. I appreciate you being here, and I thank you. And I'm glad that equally as glad that I found you and Miss Mac. And just the idea behind what your channels are, just by accident falling upon you was awesome. And must be a higher power at work somewhere. So, hola to you, my friend, and I appreciate you. Thank you. The Gen X effect, he said, awesome, Gaston, and I agree with you. I agree with you very much. Awesome job, Brother Gaston. Once again, happy birthday to you from Guy and Shine. We appreciate you being here. Brother Desi, I appreciate Brother Desi in the house. Lucy Warren's World, I see you there with the little emojis. My eyes ain't good enough to be able to tell exactly what it is, but they look cool, so thank you. Rising Phoenix, we appreciate you being here, living my best life at 60. I see you. Thank you very much for being here. I see my mom and sister right there. That's my mom and sister tuning in. Thank you, Mom, Missy. I appreciate y'all. Good morning. I love you. Thank you for being here with me. Gaston Guitar Covers, I appreciate you. Me and Shine, we enjoy making new friends. What the Quack is in the house. We appreciate you taking the time to become friends with us and coming on just to hang out and get to know one another. And I look forward to more visits and more songs. Now that we know how to get things shared over to one another, we got Krista Flash in the house, and Chris is going to be coming on here in about might be more like about 20 minutes or so, Chris, if you can hear me out there, my brother, about 20, 25 minutes, something like that. We've got a few more songs that or a couple more songs, and then when we bring you up, then we'll just share some songs out while you're here too, because we figured we can do that because we can, because that's what we do.
Correct.
And that's just the way we do because we run this show.
Like it or not.
I mean, Hey, hey, bring me a cup of coffee.
You're looking the wrong way.
Hey, thank you.
Look at that.
You believe that, don't you? You believe that, don't you? Hey,
Yeah.
hey, I talked to my wife like
You-
that. She'd be
you
like,
man-
hey,
yeah,
you talk
yeah.
about,
He'd be-
I'll
yeah.
get it myself. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Don't make me hit you again.
Yeah.
Don't make me. Ow!
I'm telling you, man, it was funny. Hey, appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate you, Brother Gaston. Always pushing people up. Love that about you. Well, we appreciate that. That's what Guy and Shine are all
Yes,
about,
sir.
man.
Yep.
When you play someone's song, can you drop that link in the chat? Man, you know, I'm going to just be honest with you, Gen X Effect. I don't really know. And I'd be lying if I said, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that it's okay. But I can tell you this. What I have found is that when we do cover songs, it'll come up with a copyright on it, but it's to let you know that they recognize that song. But then it'll say right beside of it, no effect.
strike or no whatever.
no,
yeah.
this is not a copyright strike.
Yeah,
So I encourage you to do as I have done. I have just tried to go like to the YouTube studio stuff and then go and search it out and look for it. But everything that I have found suggests that as long as it's a public, you know, like, well, if it's public domain, you can do it. But then if
Yeah.
it's if the owner of it allows public use of the song, then it's okay to do it. You just have to give them their credit
That's right.
as the writer
The
and all that
writer,
stuff.
like I've done a few like where it's like a Bob Marley song, right?
Yeah.
So you put like Redemption song originally by Bob Marley and the Wailers, right? And
Yeah.
as long as you do that, you're fine. But if your question meant could we drop the link for the song that was played, just go to Gaston's page because that's where we'll be. You know,
But his question, I think.
I'm not sure which way that.
Hey, guy,
was
when you
going.
play someone's song, can you drop that link in the chat?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you, I don't like to give definitive answers because I don't know, and I think I know. I think I know the rules. I think I do, but once again, I encourage you to find that out because I don't know that 100%. We're still learning some of the intricacies here. Now we can do it. I'm sure that I can do it.
It can be done, but are we allowed to do it? Is the thing. Right.
Right. That's yeah. Like if I'm reading that question proper, like to answer you 100%. Man, I wish I could, and maybe in another couple months, me and him will have enough information on all this stuff that we will be able to say 1,000% you can do this, this, and this, and we know.
Because
and all
you gotta
that.
be careful, man. Like you.
Yeah,
gotta.
because even on
like,
stuff that's cool right now,
Yeah.
in 2 months it might come
They
back
might
that
change
they've
it.
looked, and
They
it
might
might
change
say something. So that's why I hate to give people
Yeah.
a definitive answer when I truly, I think I know, and we're going for it. We're just doing it, but we might truly find out that we got to go through and edit a lot of stuff out just because of something. I don't know. So I don't want to encourage you to do something that I ain't 1,000%. I'm close to being sure, but
For sure,
you know what I'm
for
saying.
sure.
Elevated Einstein, I see you in here. Just wanted to stop by and show love. Can't hang out today. Fine then.
Well,
Fine
but
then. Just go do stuff.
Be that way. Live a life.
Fine.
Come on now.
Fine. We'll just be here.
I appreciate you, man. Be safe out there.
And tell your wife that I seen that she had stopped through yesterday. I didn't remember to recognize her because I only seen her come up, but I remembered afterwards, and I wanted you to tell Kimberly that I seen her message, I seen her that she was here, and I appreciate it, and I thank her for that. Thank you very much.
Very nice. Very nice.
Appreciate you guys, both of you, and we're both working towards the same thing. We're going to keep pushing up those types of things and bringing awareness to it the best that we can. That's all you can do.
You know, and it needs to be. You know, it's so far past what needs to be done in that spectrum. Okay, like it really is, and you know, I said it yesterday, and I'll say it again today. I am one of the most stubborn people you will ever meet due to the history I've had with the medical industry. But what I've learned is the quicker you get it dealt with, whatever it may be, the better better things are probably going to shake out with you, and sometimes it goes that way. And if it does go that way, just remember, if you can, that this too shall pass, right? So
Yep.
keep it together, and you seen a man do that, and I was very very proud to have that conversation with him yesterday, and just,
Indeed.
I mean, that took amazing amount of courage. Like it really does. If you understand,
But
some
also
things.
understanding that,
Yeah.
man, having that opportunity to feel like that, okay, this is your
Mm-hmm.
time to speak on this, on whatever size this platform is, don't matter, but this is your moment. You
Mm-hmm.
say it how you want to say it. You say it the way you feel like saying it.
Yep.
And you don't need no justification for it. Not on this platform. You say it the way you see fit.
That's right.
And we're gonna listen. And we're gonna give feedback the way we see fit. But we're gonna allow you your time to say what you see and how you see it. And we're gonna try to help you see from your angle. Help us see what it is
that's
that
the
you're
evolution
seeing.
of the human. We need to hear what other people are saying, and not just doing the la 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 la. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we need to hear each other out.
Yep.
And it can be done. So
It can be done, and you can offer that opportunity when you know that someone, not only do they need the opportunity to have the platform, maybe they just need to get it out there. Because
Yep.
I've said this many times.
Yep.
This right here, I give what I have to say to the world, and I let the world deal with it. And somehow it makes me feel better. Somehow it helps me feel like I released something.
I call
And
it
it's
the pressure
odd,
relief valve effect.
but it works. It
yeah.
works.
But it
And-
does. It's in the science behind this now. Finally, like they actually have proven this by you speaking it out loud, by you talking about it, and by even writing it down. It takes it out of here and it puts it someplace else. Right now, it's real. You've seen it and you've done some part of the processing on it. So yeah, I agree.
I agree with that. Well, brother Elevated Einstein, I personally know exactly what you're talking about, and I encourage you to just just not. This is how I see it. This is just how I see it, and I tell brother Zach the same exact thing. I encourage you, when you feel that, then go get your help. But what I also say is, you take a trusted soul with you. You take someone that will sit there, be quiet, let you say what you need to say, that you get what you need, but it's going to be a liaison if something silly goes on.
Right.
That way, you have someone there that has your back immediately. Not necessarily to fight,
Nope.
as far as physically fight, but like, hey, look, he needs a few
Maybe-
minutes. Give him some time. We're going to sit here. Y'all get the hell out of here and let us have a few minutes.
Yep.
Somebody like that could say, look, I got this under control. He needs a few minutes. Let him have a few minutes. I don't care,
right.
doctor, lawyer, Indian
That's
chief,
right.
get out of here. And if you have that, maybe, that's just what I would say, because this is how I feel. I'm so frustrated by the situation, because I hate the fact that my brother was going through that, but I also hate the fact that, man, I was only 4 miles away.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I was 4 miles away from that hospital, and man, you know how I am. At the drop of a dime, I would have took off. If I didn't have a vehicle, I could have run out there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if I feel like that, when you're close enough with somebody and you're willing to see from their angle, that sometimes you can make things not happen by just being there, by
sir.
just being a presence in their life and knowing, well, you know what? All these other people may not be on my side, but this one right here is. This one's on my side. He's going to ride or die with me. Me and him, we're going to go. And sometimes it takes that, but I would just encourage, because of what I've now seen and what I know, I would encourage anybody, if you
That's
have a
very good
trusted
advice.
soul
Very good
in
advice.
your life, then just ask them to please. I don't need you to say anything. I don't need you to do anything. I just want you to be there with me. So if I start not thinking about a situation clearly, or you see I need a break, then you just tell them, this man needs a break, get the hell out of here and leave him alone.
Yep.
And let him have that moment for a second, because that's sometimes all it takes. Let's go
well,
walk around the parking lot. Let's go take a
That's
walk.
right.
Let's go smoke
Take
a
few
cigarette.
breaths and
Let's go
whatever,
get us
man.
a soda. Let's go talk
Yeah.
about this. Let's go yell at the woods. Let's go walk around the parking lot in the cold. And there's things change in your mind after
That's
a few
right.
minutes if given the opportunity, man.
Yep. Cooler
And that's
heads will
just,
prevail, right? Like, And also reminds me of that the best offense is a good defense, right?
Indeed.
You know?
Indeed,
So-
indeed, and just know that, man. Sadly enough, you need to make sure there is someone solid on your side, whether it be your wife, a friend, anybody,
Anybody.
You know, anybody that you. Well, you
That's
know what?
informed and knows what you're dealing with. That's
Yeah.
key.
And I think in that situation, anybody you know that will keep their mouth shut until they need to not keep their mouth shut. Let you say what you need to say and get what help you need to get. But then if they see something going weird, they know to step in and say, okay, now look, wait a minute. Now, we're not agreeing with this. This ain't the way that this is going to happen from a man here, and he don't agree with this.
And
or
that's
they
why
don't agree
your
with this.
liaison, and I'll use that word, is so important, because I can tell you in my personal life, when it was very, very bad, there was one person, and it's my wife, who would say one word, and it was blue flamingo, because it was the only thing that could get in here when I would get, when you know what I mean, like when it gets, you get too far ahead of yourself, and now it's on. But if she said that word, there was something in my brain that, like, it was just such a weird thing to think of a blue flamingo. So, like, it would calm me down enough, or for me to know that I'm about to do something that's going to cause a lot more harm, or whatever it may be, to myself. Typically would be the way it would go. And that's the thing. Like, if you don't know what the person is dealing with, this is how it seems to shake out too many times. And it's just, we're better than this, right? Like, we're all better than this. We
The
know
awareness is better.
better. Yep.
The awareness is better. But no, people aren't better than this.
No.
People
guess
aren't
not.
better than this. We take for granted that they are, and that's why we need people that are,
Yeah.
making sure there's checks and balances made. And when you have a loved one or a person in your life that you know needs that support, then be there for them to reach out to. That doesn't mean you're there to as a shoulder to cry on every day. That just means that you're there as, look, when the crap hits the fan and you don't know anybody else to call, this is the number. This is where you call, because there will be an answer on the other end, and that matters.
Exactly.
Elevated Einstein, I appreciate you being here, and as you know, always encourage you. If you ever feel like you need anything, then you reach out, and you reach out to somebody that you can, say whatever you need to say to, and sometimes that's all it takes is a few minutes. And you're right, Gaston. All it takes is 120 seconds. Sometimes less. I call it. I have a bad habit of speaking fast, and I know that. So, what I have started doing in my recent years, in the past few years, is I give myself a 3-second delay, and I try to do it purposely. So every time that I get done saying something, I take my breath and I try to give myself that 1, 2, 3-second breath, and I feel myself breathe in. And then I'll start to speak again. That way I don't get ahead of people. I don't get ahead of myself. I don't lose my train of thought. And it gives me time sometimes. And I've told Sean this. Some of the best medicine for people is that stare and that uncomfortable silence for 10 seconds. To give yourself time to think about what you're going to say, but also give them time to think about what they just said too. And sometimes that's the best medicine for an ignorant remark, or somebody that's speaking out of turn, or they've got ahead of their skis and they don't know what the hell they're talking about, is to give them that little bit of a look, give them that uncomfortable silence for about 10 seconds, and let their brain process what they just spoke on. Yep. And then you can then you get a chance also to process just how to let them know how ignorant they are without telling them how ignorant they are. But thank you, Magic Healing. Appreciate you guys. Oh, you're so, hey, we love talking about it, because it's truly something we're both passionate about. And it's not, man, I don't like to come at things like I know anything. I just like to come
practice. It takes practice, these things. Like, you know what I mean? Like, depending on how, like, you were brought up or you were raised, like, and you got to understand, you had another issue on top of that. And, like, I'm speaking for myself on this one, okay? Like, purely.
Well, you have to.
Purely like, from myself. And then, like, there's this whole realization period that happens that, hey, things don't work the way that they used to. And then you notice that part. And then you go through this whole second thing. And then you get real confused real quick. And that's what I think happened in this situation. It's just like, I just want to go home. right? Nobody's helped me here. The best thing I can do now is be around the people I love, and now you're getting in my way, and you've put hands on me. Now that's just not good. It's taken a long time to do what Guy has just explained, but when I do it, the results are always better in my favor, and I say that because it can go bad real quick, and usually when it does, you're like this deep in it, in trouble by the time, and they don't care.
And
they don't care what
sometimes
you're
it makes
dealing
me.
with then.
I get confused sometimes by people just wanting to have trouble. Because I've
Yeah.
seen it in my life, and they
Yeah.
use problems that they've had to cause trouble. Like, for example, I got a friend right now that's back in prison because he's a tough guy. It ain't got nothing to do with because he spent 15 years in prison. He can say it's all because I was locked up and I just snapped. Man, I was locked up too. Locked up didn't make you snap.
No.
You being a jackass and
Is
thinking
what
that you're
hurt you.
tougher than everybody else
Yeah.
made you snap. That's what made you snap. And, that's the
a
kind of
different
thing.
situation, though. That's looking for trouble.
It
There's
is.
looking for trouble, and there's looking for help.
Yeah,
And
and
that-
that's when you have to draw that line. It's like, okay,
This
because
can
I've
go
seen
one
it on
way.
both sides. Like, are you using this to cause havoc in people's life, or are you really having troubles? Because until you speak on it, nobody knows. If you're just going out and hurting people or being nasty with people, and you're not willing to speak on it, then all I can say is you're trying to hurt people because I ain't heard what's wrong. You ain't told nobody.
No.
And that's dangerous, regardless of
It
the
is dangerous,
reason.
But I find it like I found in my personal experience through myself and other people that I know that usually somebody with a mindset from like that from our generation usually it I don't believe that most people are born just savage in the mind. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm going to go out and just do this. It's like somewhere along the line, you did not realize that you're not 18 years old anymore and throwing yourself around like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there was
Right.
somebody there that should have told you, like, you level up. This is how you do it. Like what
Well,
you
because
just
I
did.
see,
Like
I
what
see
you
it
just did.
used
Like,
as
why
like
are
a,
you doing that? Why are you doing that when you could just take a breath and
like a
you know?
bully, like a bully tactic almost sometimes. Because I'll hear people speak on it, and it'll be like, "Well, are you trying to make me scared, or are you trying to tell me a story?" Because if you're trying to make me scared, I don't scare easy.
No.
But what I do want to know is, how can I help? What is it that you feel that makes you feel that way? Let's not hear about all the other tough guy stuff. It's like, because at some point I got to call it out and say, well, wait a minute now. If you're not going to speak on it, you're not going to say, hey, this
Yeah,
is
what's
how I'm
the deal?
feeling.
What's the
Then
deal?
all we see is abuse.
Yep.
And that's all the world sees. And that's
And-
where
yep,
bringing
you're right.
awareness and
Yep.
letting people talk about it comes in. Is like, okay, now you get
Yeah.
a chance to actually talk about how you feel instead of talk about all the things you've did. Okay, the heck with that.
Living
All
this-
the things that you
what do
did.
they call that? The mask, like that mask
Yeah.
that a person creates for themselves, and it's like, why are you even doing this? And so, like, like, why are you doing this? And you're right. If a person doesn't
yeah.
have an answer, like, okay, well, see you later, man. 'Cause,
Right.
like,
If you're just going to keep saying, well, it's because I have this or it's because I have that, well, at some point, somebody's got to say, well, I'm sorry, but that violence or that mindset doesn't fit society.
it
And
don't.
we have to talk about these things in order for people to understand that, okay, I am coming at from a position of empathy, and I'm saying, hey, I want to know what's wrong, but I'm also saying that these actions and the way that you're handling these problems is also wrong as well. So
Correct.
we need to express that
Yep.
in a way where it's like, hey, I'm not threatening you. I'm saying to you
No,
that I
there's a
see
better
the
way.
action.
There's a
Yeah, I
better
see
way.
your actions. I see
Yeah.
the reactions to those actions, and I'm telling you, it ain't working for you, brother.
But buddy, this is not going to shake it well.
Yeah, let's talk.
Right.
Let's figure out why
Yeah.
we're having these actions
exactly.
towards it. So that's,
Well,
kind of
that's what I loved about doing the men's groups. You know what I mean? Like, they were hard at the beginning. So, like, I took a couple courses and sitting in front of 14 hardened men. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that have been through some real stuff. And I couldn't believe, like, once one guy got going, right? Because, like, it was a safe spot. It was just us. Like, none of this. Like, in a room, you know what I mean? Just hey man, like let's talk about abuse. And that's how I started the conversation. And this one man just started sobbing, like just started sobbing, and like told his story. And then another guy started talking, another and another. And that was when it's like, okay, then you get asked, well, what can I do about this? How can I deal with this? Whatever format that is coming in, right? Whether they're receiving the abuse or they're the abusee, if you will. Well, there's some things we can do here. And the biggest thing I've learned is slowing it down, right? Because when you go from green to yellow to hot red, you know what I mean? Like there's gaps in there, and there's tricks that you can use to slow that down. And the more you practice them, the more refined you'll become, and you'll find that your life will get better. And you'll no longer wonder, why me? Why does this always happen to me? Well, because you're doing it to your own ass, really, is what's happening. But you might not see it.
Right.
And I know it took a very good friend of mine saying, like, dude, this is the last time I'm picking you up out of the motel, so to speak, right?
Right.
And he's
Right,
like, I can't
because
do
the
this.
same story gets
Yeah.
told when it happens, whether it's a different circumstance.
But
Okay,
it's,
but
it's
it's
like
the
you're
same.
always the one in jail.
It's
So,
always the
like,
same
yeah.
story, and it's like, you know
Exactly.
what? I was out partying with my friends last weekend too,
Yeah.
but I didn't go to jail.
I was minding my own business. And
I
then
didn't
was
go to
in the-
jail. I was
in
out
jail.
minding my own business last weekend, and I didn't go to jail. So
Exactly.
why is it when you're out minding your own business that you go to jail?
Seems
And that's
like
how
you
I.
might not be minding your own business.
It's kind of like
you
I
know?
told you about that buddy that is a good friend of mine, and he was talking about being homeless and how it wasn't so bad. And my words to him were, if being homeless is not so bad, then why do you spend so much time
Complaining about
trying
it.
to find a place to stay at night?
Yep.
If being homeless ain't that bad, then shut up and be homeless, or go get you a job and don't be homeless.
And figure it
Oh,
out, dude. You know?
Period.
Like,
Stop
it's-
bumming cigarettes off me. They only sell 20 in a pack. I don't have an extra one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's
that
only
might-
20 in there.
See, that's the thing with habits, right? Like, I remember, like, anyway, without getting into too much of it, do you got a spare smoke? Like, that was always the line. You got a spare smoke? It's like, no, there's no spares in here. There's 20, there's 25. And then they get up to like $20 a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah,
right?
it's like,
No,
go get
done-
you a
done
job,
with
is
this.
what I say. Go get
Yeah.
you a job. You want some cigarettes, go get a job.
You know, and there
know.
might be more behind it. Like, I don't know this guy or his situation, but like I do know a few fellas that I've known that they just, that's the lifestyle they've chosen. Right?
When
Like,
when
they've
somebody's
chosen
hard
it.
on no luck, I'm the first one to help them. But when somebody's hard on themselves
Yep.
and just ain't doing nothing, then
Without
I'm the
any
first
kind of
one to say,
validation or validity behind why are you doing this?
like, dude, I've heard these excuses for the past 15 years. Don't you think it's time to do a little something different, man?
Turn
You know
it
what I'm
up.
saying?
I mean, at least try a bit,
You know,
would you?
like, I'm just saying, what do I know? But see, that's another beauty of being in the position I'm in, is because I'm also a felon. I also lost all my rights. I also had to do years in prison, but
Yep.
I come home, I went to work, I started trying to get that stuff took care of. I got my rights back, got
Yes,
my voting
sir.
rights back. I own a home. I own my property. I owe nobody. I owe no bank. Everything I have is mine and my wife's, and we don't owe nobody for it. And that was purposeful. It ain't by accident.
No, it
It
isn't.
was purposeful. Decisions made.
Whether you believe you can or you cannot, you are correct. And trust me, it's an inherent thing, right? You got to work on that. And if you work on that, you can do exactly what Guy just said. I don't want to say
Thank you,
many, but it can be done. It can be done, right?
It can be done, and so
can
that
be done.
that therefore takes that bullet away from them when they're trying to talk to me about it. Like, look,
Yeah, the
Look.
baby, don't cry in my house.
Look.
Don't come crying on my shoes.
you
I'm gonna
think
tell you
I
right
wasn't
now.
turned down jobs because I was a felon?
Do you know
Heck
how
yeah, I was
embarrassing
turn-
it was, like trying to hitchhike to get to the probation office
Right,
on
dude.
time to not go back to prison for
right.
3 years after you're out of prison?
Like, I get
Like,
it.
like, we get it, we get it.
It's like, okay.
what-
But now what?
but you ain't getting no smokes. I'm telling you that.
Yeah, well, and it's like
No.
you're not going to get no sympathy from me because
No,
you
no.
don't have a home or you
No.
don't have this. It's like, hey yo, I didn't have like,
Change the pattern, break the chain, man.
you
Like,
know,
what
show
I
me
mean?
some effort and I'll show you some sympathy when it's not working. But
Correct.
until I see the effort, I don't have no sympathy for you.
I
If nothing
learned
you're
this
doing is
game.
working.
I learned this game the hard way, man. Like, like for years with certain buddies and friends. And my buddy, my really good friend, he said, "I'm going to send you a book," and it's called The Laws of Power, right? And I like to read, so I read the book, and he goes, "Let's say you have 7 friends. This is like the opening chapter, right?" He goes, two of them will be in your corner no matter what, but them other 5, they're just hanging around to either get something from you or watch you fall, right?" And I said, "This is insane. Like, this can't be, right?" And then you started looking around and doing a self-assessment in my own world. And I could literally go boom, 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 boom. All right, I'm just gonna try something. I'm not saying I'm ending anything, but I'm gonna put you to the side for a few months, right? And then see where old Shiny pulls out, right? And then what happened? Not worrying about these problems, these silly situations that are the same stories over and over and over again, because what I was doing was enabling them, and I didn't realize that. Because there's a difference between help and enabling a person, right?
Yeah.
If every time they come over, "Oh, I need $5 or $10," it's like, "Oh, okay, well, that's nothing. Like, here's $5, $10." But it becomes something if you do it 100 times in a row and you never get it back. You know what I mean? So how can you help your family? And that's my priority, is making sure that my immediate family is taken care of. And these are grown men I'm talking about. So you can figure it out. I've figured it out. Guys figured it out, to the way that, I'm pretty happy with right now, personally. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it always comes down to, in the end, your true colors will always shine through. And, I've always been a firm believer in what I'm doing will come back to bless me or haunt me. And if I'm speaking truth and I'm putting action behind truth, then my actions and my movements forward will always be justified. But if I'm speaking blank words and it's not true and they're not justified and it's just a lofty notion, then that will also come to pass. And I've made it a point
that will not be good.
until I actually had my crap together and I could say I kicked all of it and I was done. I never was one to come at somebody with, "Well, you should."
Oh, never. Like,
Now,
no.
now, I'm clean. I'm sober. Yeah, you should. Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Because you can. I did. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
And those numbers that
But
they
until
tell
you are there,
Yep.
you can't look at nobody and say truly,
no.
if you're still taking the crap and
This
you're still
reminds me
doing
of-
the crap,
this
you're still
reminds-
drinking the crap,
Dude,
then
I
you
remember-
can't tell nobody you should quit
No,
it
no.
because you ain't done it. So
I
who the
remember
heck
seeing
are
a
you?
guy at AA, like when it was like mandated
Oh.
AA. I'm like, why am I even in AA?
I
I'm
met
not an
more
alcoholic.
drunks.
I'm a drug addict. Put me with the
yeah.
addicts. And this guy walks up and he goes, "I'd like to celebrate my 25-year chip from alcohol. I take 8 Percocets a day." You put me in the parking lot. I'm like, what?
It sickens me, dude. I get mad. I'm gonna tell you, I'm passionate about it
fires
because
me up, man. It fires me up.
I spent a
get
lot
it.
of years and a lot of time and a lot of health and a lot of monies and a lot of things lost. Lost the home, lost the marriage, lost vehicles. Had to come home and get it all back. And I seen how that these punk people in prison, counselors, CEOs that are all supposed to be dealing out our punishment and teaching us something, and they're dirtier than any one of us that's in there. They're still doing dope. They're still taking Suboxone, still taking methadone, but then preaching out one side of their mouth, and it ain't true because they ain't accomplished nothing yet. They're still fighting. Now, I push that up. That's great. But don't start telling people like you know something that is true until you've proven it to yourself that it's true.
And that's the
until
quickest
you've proven
way.
it to
That's the
yourself that it's true,
quickest
it's
way to
blank
break
words.
a person. That's the quickest way to break a person is build them. Okay, they're already down, right? They're already down. And from being in this position, I remember the only prayer that I made was, I hope someone comes along that can tell me what to expect next, right? So you're actively seeking that. Now,
Yep.
if the wrong
Gonna
person
hurt.
is put in front of you, they're going to build you up and they're going to snap you to pieces. because you're gonna think that that person has got it figured out, and they're lying straight through your teeth to your face, and you likely know it. You likely know it.
That's why you can't
Yep.
speak on it
No.
until you've put yourself through the hurt.
Yep.
It's okay to talk about it, but you can't come at people from a position of power until
preaching
you
and
put your
stuff.
own
No.
power
No.
around it, because you do have the capability. You do have it. Everybody has it. It's a choice. It's like, and you got to realize it's going to hurt.
It's gonna
you
hurt.
put yourself through misery to get where you're at. So
Yeah.
you're going to have to go through some pain
To get out.
to get back out. And
It's the
the,
exchange. Every action
Yeah,
is
it's
equal
gonna
and
suck.
opposite
It's
reaction.
gonna
We'll
suck.
tell you right now, it's gonna hurt so
you
bad.
know what helped me?
But
was
then you're gonna feel amazing.
I come off of it in prison, and then when I come off of it on the street, I was like, in my head, I was like, you know what? This ain't gonna be as bad as it was when I was locked up, because at least I'm home. At least I'm.
Oh no, not
You know
true.
what I'm saying?
Not
when I
true.
gotta go to the bathroom, I can go to the
it's so
bathroom.
convenient.
Yeah,
No, it hurts
dude.
just as bad.
Hey, being in there with a bunch of other grown men going around crying and sniffling and crapping everywhere and everything. It's like, dude, this is a nightmare, man. I was like, dude, this is crazy,
How
man.
did this become my life?
Yeah,
It was
like,
like,
oh my
what?
God, man.
I picked firefighter, military, and cop,
Dude.
and I ended up on the wrong side of all of it.
Oh, misery, man. But you know, I feel important to always speak on that, because you know
Yes.
that's the true step forward for people.
is.
If you
It
keep
is.
blowing sunshine up people's butt, and you keep buying into their stories, like I got a beautiful friend, and right now he's doing better than I've ever seen him do in his life. But it took people like me, people like Zach, saying, "Now wait a minute, man, you tell a good story, bro, but we know the real. We know the real."
That's a friend.
We know the real.
That is the definition
We
of
know
a
the real.
real friend. They will not blow smoke up
You
your
tell a
ass.
beautiful story, but we know the real. And,
Listen, man.
and,
Like,
you
how
know,
long you want to do this? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
How long you want to do this? We can
Right.
sit here and pretend like,
Yeah, right. But you don't
let's
have a
get
home to go to, bro.
So like,
And
you
it's
know,
like,
let's work
you know,
on that. You
like-
know? And we're willing to work on it. See, that's the thing. Like, you got to recognize that it's time for change.
First, you have to accept that you are not right about this.
What
that
stages
at
of change?
40 years old,
Contemplation, something, and then action. Oh,
at this
action
point,
and
you're,
maintenance.
you know,
That's it.
we're
You got
talking
it.
at this point, like with this fella I'm talking about. You know, at the point me and Zach were talking to him about this, was like he was getting ready to turn 40 years old, and it's like, okay,
man.
at some point we got to say, like, look, bro, hey,
We should
you
have
know,
hard
like-
stopped this a decade ago. We'll take
Right.
a bit of it, but
in your 20s, this was kind of cool. You know, it's like, hey, you know what I mean? But like, okay, you're coming
you
up
do
on 40.
realize you're 40 years old, right?
Yeah, like
How far gone are we here?
I try a job. That'd be the first thing I did. Is
Wouldn't
I
be a
try a
bad
job.
idea.
I
Wouldn't be a
get me a
bad
job. You
you
know.
know?
You know, like that was how it was. But I mean, he was so smart that we knew what we're telling. Like he already
yeah.
knows.
Yeah.
He
Well,
just
that's-
needs somebody in
that's
his
the
life
thing.
to
That's-
say it.
That's
Like,
the thing.
dude.
That's the thing. I'm gonna tell you. Like, I didn't look. Okay, you do meet a few. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. But most of the people that I have met, whether they be homeless or on drugs and homeless, or in the prison system and homeless and on drugs, they're some of the smartest people you'll
They
ever
are.
meet.
Yes, they are.
They're some of the smartest people. But
Yes, they
something
are.
happened, and they just need like that bit of a shove, and,
Yep.
they'll probably get pretty pissed sometimes. But then they'll think about it eventually, and then maybe they'll get it together. I know
can't
that was
wait.
the process.
I can't wait to have this fella on, because I've been telling stories about him, and
Yeah.
he was homeless, dude, like homeless. Mother
wow.
died while he was locked up this past time. 15 years, over 15
man.
years in prison, and man, he is now getting ready to graduate college at the top of his class. He's the manager of a store just in a town across the mountain
That's
over here.
amazing.
Got a little gal. She's pretty and just nice, and just you know,
Yeah,
seems like she
yeah.
just loves him to death, and he seems like he cares about her, and I'm so super proud of him, and I can't wait to have him on and push that up
Yes,
and
sir.
let him brag
Yes, sir.
about let him brag about it. I mean, he wouldn't be that guy. He's not. But I mean,
but
you know what I'm
talking
saying?
about it's important because
Push that up, like, man.
You don't
know,
hear the stories enough. Like
I knew it. I've always. You can ask my wife. I've told her many times, and I won't speak his name until he's on.
for sure.
But I've told her because she knew him from the street, just like I did before jail, before prison, all this stuff.
Right.
Hey, one of the best I ever knew the man was when we was in prison. He was clean, he was sober, and man, he was smart, and he was on point, and he was like super uber intelligent. So then when we get out on the street and I see him messing up, I'm like, dude, I'm
done with
disappointed
this.
now. Like, dude, I know better. Like, you could actually be owning this little town if you would just put some work.
Well,
And like you're smart, you know what I mean? And so
good.
shout
I'm
out.
glad-
40
I'm glad
years
he-
old, actually. I think he's 41.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
after
man.
all these years, he finally like
So
okay.
it takes a minute. And it takes
a
some
minute.
chances.
Like,
you know what I mean? And a couple of good friends definitely is going to help you. That's for sure.
Yep. And
know.
being willing to just be honest, but at the same time super supportive.
Yes, sir.
Like me and Zach took his truck, got stuff for him and that little gal he's with now, and helped him bring stuff back. It's been a couple of years back, but helped them get some stuff for their new little apartment and all this kind of stuff. And I'm all about that. When I see a man like putting out a little bit of effort that I've never seen before from him, and I'm like, whoa, all right, the best way to nurture this is, okay, I'll reward great behavior. I reward that by help. I'll help you in any way that
And
I
it's a
possibly
reciprocal
can.
relationship because
dude,
you help him, and then he gets
and he's one
motivated
of
because
those-
you help me, and like, dude, like it's
He's one of those ride or dies too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
all I'd have to do is drop him a line. You know what I mean? He'd be there. Like, now, a little bit too eager for some dumb stuff. Like,
Well,
he'd be there.
you know, it
But
takes
now
a minute
these
to
days,
shake that up.
yeah, these days he's getting, you know. But
yeah.
shout out to him, and I'm gonna have him on so that we can
stuff. That was
introduce
good,
him.
man. I like
It'll
that.
be
That was
good
good.
for him, and it's good for others. Maybe
good for
others will
everybody.
wanna, you know, come
You're
on
gonna
and
learn
share.
something. Like I said, every single person's
Dude,
got
he's got
something.
some stories too, bro.
I
He's
imagine
got
he
some
does.
stories, man. Like, are you serious, man? Like,
Yeah.
And he's one of them that you gotta sit and like listen because you're like, is he?
Is
this getting right? Where's
is he,
the
is he riffing or is this like?
yeah, because he'll get you like.
Oh, yeah.
And he's
Oh, yeah.
super duper smart,
So
but
he
he's.
can get you every corner.
He's like,
Yeah, I
you
know.
look, all right, I
That's
got you,
funny.
bro. I'm
That's
with
funny.
you. But I'm going to try to have him come up now that I've got things lined out. Then I'm going to invite him up to the house, him and his little gal, his fiance.
Sure.
I think they're engaged now. But I'm going to invite him up for
congratulations.
dinner with me and Courtney, and then see if I can't just have him on
Pop
with
on.
me here in
Yep.
person, but together with us. Now that I can plug in an extra set of headphones and
Awesome.
you know what I'm saying, be able to. So that would be really cool, and I'm just super proud of him, man. I mean, I
Well,
really am.
And it's
In
something
all
that
real,
needs to
all
be
honesty,
pushed up. It's
it
something
makes
that
me
needs to
uber
be-
proud of the dude. Just
Yeah, something
It
that
does.
needs to be pushed up
it
because
does.
I'm telling you, like
it
up
does
here,
for sure.
they call it recovery, recovering in silence, right? So like you know how it is. You hear all the horror stories about, oh, you're never gonna make it, you're never gonna beat this, everybody fails. That's not true. It's not true. And there's a whole generation
true. It's
of
not
men and women right now believing that and not believing in themselves, and something else usually helps too. But
Well, and our governments have convinced people now that
man.
just like with, dude, they've convinced people that being clean and sober is going to the Suboxone and methadone clinic.
That is not.
That's
That is a
not
fallacy.
being clean and sober.
Like
It's
call
not
it
being
harm
clean and sober.
reduction. Harm reduction. There is simply harm or no harm. You do
Yeah,
not reduce it. It exists or
Well,
it does
it-
not exist.
If you're scheduling your family vacations around when your methadone or Suboxone clinic visit is, then
Liquid
you are
handcuffs.
dependent on it. You
Liquid
are dependent
handcuffs.
on it.
They're called liquid handcuffs.
Liquid
if you're
handcuffs,
if you're on the
indeed.
dome, buddy.
Yeah,
you know what I
man.
mean? And you
And it's tough.
okay.
Tough.
That one, like if there was like a pyramid of like the terribleness,
You're in my studio.
that one gets the top. Worst I've ever
get
seen
the,
anybody
get my bank
anybody
card.
come off of anything. And
No, my
luckily I
regular
didn't get
bank
too far
card.
down that
Am I
road, but I
talking
heard a
now?
man scream
Sorry.
for 30 days straight.
Yeah,
in a
very
private
brutal.
center, and he was in so much pain he actually clawed the walls till his nails came out because he was on such a high dose of this stuff that at a certain point your body, it gets absorbed into your bones, into your bone marrow. So the withdrawal is not just like what you would get from, say, in pills or even heroin. It's pure poison. And the mixture, like even when they factor in stepping somebody down, like if you've been on it for 2 years, you're looking at about 4 to get off of it, and then you're gonna have about a 6 to 2 month period, 6 weeks to 2 months of just excruciating pain. Like I remember, I had an aunt. She lived to 74, and she was caught up in the Halifax explosion. And they put her on methadone at 9 years old. Now that she died, and when they were doing, you know how they do the autopsy, the doctor said when he was cut into her bones, methadone was coming out of the bones.
It's crazy.
Can you imagine that?
It's crazy, man.
It's terrible.
It's crazy, man.
We should play a
It's
song,
just-
Lighten the Mood. Good vibes.
That's crazy, man. Good vibes, man. Good vibes. Shout out to hey, good vibes is about good honesty.
Yes, it is. It is. And
It
sometimes
ain't always
it comes in
giddy
different
giddy.
forms.
As we've said, it
Yeah.
won't always be giddy giddy, but it is always with respect and it's always with honesty.
Yeah.
And honesty is good vibes to me, even if it rubs me wrong a little bit. I can get down with it. You know, I've always been the kind of man you can say just about anything you want to me as long as you're willing to have me say what I want back. And I have my opinions on things, and I usually won't speak on something until I'm pretty steadfast on where I'm at with it. Does that mean my mind can't be changed? Of course it can be changed. But when it comes to drugs and addiction, I've made my own choices and my own mistakes in my life, and I've had to find my own path of getting past it as well. Not that means I've done it alone. There's been people supporting me. They just give me my space to come to my point at which I said I had enough and said, okay, I'm going to move on. And you can't make that decision for people. But the best way to help them lean towards that decision is to never, ever, ever
Yep.
feed in to what you can clearly see is not true.
Yep.
Don't do that, because all you're doing is allowing somebody that's still playing the game to be convinced that they've got others convinced they're not playing the game.
Yep.
Don't do that.
And that
all
makes
you're
the
doing
sickness
is
way
screwing 'em up.
worse, way worse. And I see that comment, William, and you would not believe how many people I know that believe they're clean when they're on methadone, and man, they ain't. Like these drugs, I think, like the best way I can explain them, okay, depending on how long you're using and how heavy you're using, at a certain point, there's a switch that goes off in your brain where you'll actually convince yourself that you are sober on these harm reduction medications, and you'll believe it, and then you build a lifestyle on it, and then like Guy said, one day maybe you end up having a family, right? And maybe you want to take a trip somewhere, but you can't, because every single day for the first 2 to 4 years, it depends on what your background is, you got to show up at a clinic to get a bottle so you're not sick to function for the day.
Yep. And
And
I
then-
promise you will.
And you will. You
will.
will.
I don't
And-
care if it's your mother's birthday. You know what you're doing first thing that day? It's not calling your mama to wish her a happy
It's
birthday. You're
getting
going to
well.
methadone clinic to
Getting
get your
well.
shot.
This is what they call it. Yep, getting well.
I know it. I played the dance. I danced that terrible, terrible dance, and it is. It's a
Yep.
terror, and they got you. They got you.
They
because-
own you. They own you, dude.
Man.
And what blew my
Sickens
mind
me.
was how much more. Like they said, okay, all right, we're going to tighten the screws on this to really help people. Now, if something happens and you miss a day up here, one day within the 2 years, they cut you right off.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They-
It's kind of
you're
this.
done.
They have you by this hook of
Mm-hmm.
if you miss, you're screwed, and you're not gonna miss. You're not gonna miss. If you got to walk in a blizzard 70
good.
miles to get there, you'll be there.
I
You'll
wouldn't
be
wish it
there.
on anyone. Everything that I've experienced, that by far was the worst. By far, like jail, all the rest of it, that whatever. Like that part of it was the worst.
Yeah.
Constantly being like, okay, well, and like the worst part of it was like they'll dry you out, or you dry out the hard way, right? When you go in, and then a couple months later, they come along and start, hey, we got these tablets now to help you not do that. But why would I take that now if I've been off it for 6 months? Like, that don't make sense. But people would take it thinking they're going to catch a buzz or they're going to get something, or you can use it as a, and this is the truth. I'll tell you what I've seen a lot is people take those secondary medications because it gives them the ability to still use the substance that they prefer. Right?
Yeah, it's same dance here.
And it's just a circle. It's just a
the
circle
same
that goes
crap.
all the way down to the bottom.
I can tell you, Gaston, I push anybody up that goes and seeks help. But what I don't push up is to just keep calling yourself getting help. But nobody ever goes to anyone. I bet you go to one of your friends and ask them, any one of them, well, how many of you have been approached about cutting back?
Never.
I have friends in my life right now that I have personally asked, been going 8, 9, 10 years, and I couldn't find not one so far out of 4 that have been approached about it's time to start cutting back.
Yep.
That's where I have the issue. It's
It's
not with
always
people.
up. It's
not
always
with
up.
people going and getting help, because the people that get help, let's just be honest, people that are taking any kind of dope, as long as you're going to feed it to them and play the trick in their brain that they're doing the right thing by keeping coming to you and this will be good, then you're screwing their brain up, because their brain's now becoming accustomed to thinking that this feeling I get when I take this medicine is what normal is. That's not true.
That's not
It's
correct.
not true.
It is not correct.
We have to
And-
introduce normal back a little bit at a time and wean these people off and allow the endorphins to fire at the proper time instead of when a medicine's taken.
Correct. You know, and like the way that you just explained that, that's no different than having to go to a trap house every day to get what you need to get.
It's the same-
It's the exact same thing.
same
Just
thing.
some of them are wearing white coats.
At least it's controlled in a clinic. At
and
least you
it-
know
yeah,
you're getting
sterile
whatever it is that
environment.
you're getting.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
what I push up is I want people
Yeah.
to go and get help.
Yeah.
But I also want them to recognize that they might even have to themselves say, hey, I'm ready to start trying to approach coming off.
May
I want to
have
start working
You
off.
will absolutely have to.
I'm trying to make that different though. In
Yeah.
my area, I'm
Yeah.
trying to push some awareness out where that they have a time limit. You
Yes, they
start
do.
there, and then by this time, you better be coming back, or it's going to get tough.
Like it literally says right in the book. Like when they give you the book for these medications, it'll tell you how long you're supposed to take them. I suggest you read the books and you make informed decisions if you do know anybody that's dealing with this. Because up here, I'll tell you, when I was on the methadone program, okay, it started at 30 milligrams. All right, every week I went in, I didn't ask for an up, but every week it went up 5, and I noticed
yeah.
I noticed at a point I went, there's no difference between this amount and that amount. Like there's no difference in the effect. Luckily that was the case for me, and I called my doctor. I was at 90 on that shit. And I said, I cut myself back down to 75, and I just started rapidly dropping it as quickly as I could, because I was in that margin of time where there seems to be, if you stay at it too long, there's no way back. I knew guys at 280 a day. And
Hey, oh, dude, yeah, man. I mean, and people getting it. I mean, in such amounts, it's just not, man. I'm telling you, that's where the awareness comes in. Is
Yep.
I'm trying to make a change in that rule that when you start going to the methadone clinic or the Suboxone clinic, first rule is we're going to get you off the dope. Second rule is we're going to get you off of this.
Yep.
But
how
the
it was
problem
designed.
problem is you're going to a doctor now that his very living, his very income, the
Yep.
cars and vehicles and homes that he has is dependent upon keeping the patients coming to his office. If he cures the people, which is getting them off of the dope,
That's bad
then
for
he
business.
also cures the ability to pay for the big house he's got on the hill,
right.
and the ability to pay for the Mercedes he drives to work. He
And you can
loses
apply
all that.
to,
And we gotta make
you
it-
can apply that to the entire medical industry. Like one thing I think about, and then we'll stop talking about this stuff, but you think about cancer, right? How much money's been invested in cancer research, and look at where we're still at. Now, they just take the same approach, and it just goes from one problem to the next problem to the next problem. There's no money in curing people. there's tons of money in draining your bank accounts while you slowly trickle life out of your, you know, vessel, if you
Indeed.
will. So
Well, I
you,
would.
you have to choose. You have to make a choice for
It
yourself.
has to be a personal choice, and that's they have a cure for everything, but you have to donate $8 million a year to affiliated genius organization you're in. Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you, this is where I can only say to this: the cure that I'm speaking of is to not take anything, and that's the ultimate. That's the ultimate goal, and that is the cure.
Yep.
And the problem is that there is ways to get to that point, but we're not introducing it to people. We're not saying that, hey, look, honest truth is, if you're still dependent on going to the doctor to get something so that you can then call yourself having a good day, then there's a problem and we need to address it. And it's not your problem necessarily, and it's not necessarily all the other person's problem. It's a both problem, okay? We need to say, okay, I'm ready to come off now. It's time to start cutting me back and
you
make that
have to
decision.
be, you know, I'll tell you in my personal experience, I had to be very aggressive with my doctor. In like, it wasn't like I thought like, okay, like now like I'm gonna start coming down. Like I'm getting done with all this stuff. And they were like, oh no, that's moving too quick. I'm like, no, I'll decide at which rate I want to go. I appreciate your advice, but like if I had it done it their way, like they wanted to they have these weird charts and stuff they pull it at wherever, and they're like the recommended is 1% per week. I'm like, wait a minute now, that would take 6 years. At the dose I'm currently at, it would take 6 years if you go 1 milligram every 4 weeks. No, we're not doing that. Also, prove that you can go from 90 to 75 with no effects, and then do another jump down to 60 with no effects. It's like, no. Check it out for yourself. See what you experience. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna tell you around here, this is how this'll shake out in this area, and
Yeah.
probably in your area. So you're gonna have a lot of folks that are hidden in the dark, that have people thinking that they're clean, they're sober, and everything's perfect. But then when these clinics shut down, and all of a sudden when it's time to go get their stuff and they can't go get it, you're gonna see their life shut down, and that's when it's gonna be a big problem. Is because it's gonna happen. It's going to happen. You're not going to keep getting it forever. And for those that are faking right now, I'm telling you, these people have a hold on you, and you may not realize it yet. But let that clinic shut down and see what life does for you.
But I don't wish that on anybody.
I don't wish it on nobody,
I
but
wish that you get real with yourself if you're
do
in this
something
kind
now.
of situation and get ahead, because that time is
something now.
coming. Look around. They're shutting it all down. They're shutting it
something now.
all down. Get ahead of it.
Yep.
As much as you can.
Yeah.
No matter
Yep.
what situation you're in, get ahead of it.
Now's the time, because
I'm telling you, man. Things are, you don't want to listen. All right.
while you can wean
Yeah.
off, while you can,
Yeah.
then now's the time to do it. Hey, you're good, Chris. We see you there, man. Yeah, you're good. We've had a good talk this morning. This is Guy and
Yeah,
Shine,
we got
10 to
a
1
run
Eastern
there.
Standard Time. We appreciate everybody. I see you, Cam 123 D dot. Hey, thank you for your input. And I
Appreciate
agree
you.
with you on what you're saying. The insurance doesn't pay doctors
No, they
enough
don't.
for them to become their Yeah, I
yeah,
know. Rich
yeah.
people fund their lifestyle, indeed. And
Man,
it's
up here they go one question, and I go, what do you mean one question? Like I've waited 4 years to come see the dog. He's come see you, and they're like one question, because every person that comes in, they're allotted 5 minutes, okay?
Right.
And they charge the Medicaid system, which is the tax system that we
I
all
think-
pay into. That
think
you've heard
how
about that
dedicated-
free health care bull.
think how
Don't-
dedicated you have to be to staying on drugs to even give it that amount of time to get in to get it. Think how that's strong.
Well,
That's a
think
strong
about,
pull.
Think about when you were in it.
That
I remember writing down how many hours there were in a day, and 10 of them would go to work. All right, the other 10 were going to making sure I had enough
Oh, dude.
medicine to get to work. So I have 4 hours a day, and I did that for better part of a decade. Well, she all just fell apart, right? Mm-hmm. So don't.
There's
do it
gonna
to
be
yourself.
there's gonna be I'm telling you. I hate to see it, but I also I can't wait, because there's a lot that's been faking, and I know for sure they are, and I know personally, and they got the world fooled around them. But when the rest of these clinics stop giving out like they are, and
That's
they
the
close down,
deception.
that's when you're gonna find out who was really the counselor, who was really the lawyer, who was really the all put together judge, who was really the cop that had his stuff together. No, when they can't go get their medicine too, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out, and I hate that for them, but it's coming.
But
It's coming. You can only fake it for so long, and then
sometimes
it
we gotta learn
comes.
things the hard way.
Yep.
I'll put it
And
that
for
way.
those of us, for me, for the
Yeah.
people that I know have suffered with addiction, then it's going to be a redemption day for those of us that's had people pounding it at us how to be clean
Oh man.
when they're not.
When
You know,
when I read a
it's like-
report saying that 80% of doctors, it's in Canada, 80% of doctors write prescriptions for their wives. All bets were off.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm done. No, done. Well, you want to play a song?
Yeah, I'm addressing this though because I agree with you. Cam 23 at it, yeah. Ritalin,
Go for
Adderall,
it. I'll be right
all
back.
that stuff. You're right. Pure hell. It is, and I hate that crap. I hate it, but it's everywhere around here. That's one of them things that, man, there for a while, that was one of them things. It was everywhere, and it was hard on people, man. It's really hard on people. Yeah, it's crazy, and I despise it. I truly do. I despise the whole system like that because I got friends. I got true friends that I know that when they shut the last of these things down, it's going to shut their life down. Like their family's going to suffer because that nice lofty job that they got, they're not going to feel like going and doing that. I know coal miners right now that if they lost their job, then they lose their home, their wife, their kids. But if they lose that medicine, they lose their job because they ain't going to be able to stand to go to that. They're not going to be able to stand to work 12 hours a day underground, shoveling coal and in the cold and wet. They're already dope sick too. No, they'll not be able to handle it, and it's going to close them down. And same way with some of these high-class lawyers and doctors and other people that's out here trying to tell you how to live your life and how to be best at it. But in all reality, they're leaning too. They're leaning on it. They ain't really got nothing going on yet. And that burns me. Because for those of us that's truly suffered with addiction, then the last thing you want to have is fake in your life. You don't want that. You just want real. Let's get past this crap. And there is a way to get past it. But these clinics don't introduce you to that way because how good would that be for business? If they took the very people that bring their money to them and fixed them, and they didn't bring their money no more, well, that ain't good for business now, is it? That ain't good. That don't work. That's great for business. More people we can keep dependent upon that very substance, the more people that'll keep showing up. And I don't like that. I see it in my area. Personal friends. Myself. I went through the same crap, guys. Had me by the short hairs. I couldn't do nothing. Couldn't do nothing. Well, what's the difference? Why not just let me go get the pain pills from the doctor? What's the difference? I had to go to him every month, was dependent upon that. Well, what's the difference between having to depend on the Suboxone clinic, methadone clinic? That's poison. That's poison. It's going to be just as hard to come off of it as it is the opioids. So it just really bothers me. It's something I'm passionate about, and I want to see people do better. The people that's in charge, the addicts, it's not their fault. It is their fault for getting on it, but it's not their fault for getting caught up in this ever flow of this system because that's what an addict will do. Their brain is trained to convince themselves that what they're doing is right. That's why they keep doing what they're doing. That's why I did pain pills for 25 years. I mean, I convinced myself that I was sick enough, that I was in pain enough that it was okay for me to keep doing this. It was all a me thing. In the end, it was all about my way of thinking. And then when I started thinking about, well, man, I'm allowing these people to just hold me like they can do anything they want to me, and I won't do nothing about it because I'm dope sick or because I'm this or because I'm that. And then I started seeing things close down, and I started seeing people like really lose their stuff, and it was like, well, wait a minute, dude. If I ain't in a position where I'm ready for this thing to disappear, then I'm liable to be in the same position because I was in that position for about 3 years where I was as dependent on Suboxone as I ever was a pain pill. I mean, I had to have, like, I'm going to tell you, I mean, that was the miracle. Like, okay, well, at least I can get through my day now. But like I say, I know people working 14, 15 hours a day and they're good people. It's not that they're bad people, but they're on Suboxone. They're dependent upon it, and if the clinic closes down that they go to, or they can't get their medicine no more, then it's going to shut them down. It's going to shut their family down. They are the breadwinner, and when you take that away from someone, and they don't have no way of getting past it, that's abuse, man. That's abuse.
Yep.
That's not fair. It's
I
not.
wanted to ask you a question on the Suboxone down your way, right?
Yeah.
Do they do the typical dose you right up on max dose?
Oh,
Or
now,
do they start you reasonably?
now it's been several years since this old boy's had anything to do with the clinic, but I can
Right.
speak on it from what, like, you know, you had your choice. When I went, you could, it was either methadone or Suboxone, and then they give, I forget the name. You'll know it as soon as I say it.
Subutex?
No. It was for nerve. It was a nerve medicine.
Oh, fiber. I don't know.
What the heck's the name?
Lyrica.
No.
Lyrica?
Oh, no. Hey, honey. What's that thing that's like a Xanax, but it's not called Xanax?
Oh,
No, not Buspar. The other one.
clonazepam.
What is it? No, not Ativan. It's the one that
For nerve.
tastes like menthol. If you sniff it, it tastes like menthol. They come in blue and green and blue and green. But they're
Yuck.
terrible on it, man. They
I
got
don't
people.
even know that one.
Oh, it's dude.
That
And they
sounds
get, and that's the
terrible.
thing is they give them the, like, if you get methadone or Suboxone here, all you gotta do is ask for them. They'll give them to you, and they're just like a Xanax, dude. You'll be like, yeah,
Oh my god.
they'll plant you like.
I tell you what, I thought dope addiction, like being addicted to pills, was the worst until I met this guy. And I remember it was the first time I went in, and he came up to us and like, you know, a new guy comes into the pod, and you're like, what do you bet this guy's in for?
Klonopin. Thank you, Gen X.
Klonopin. There you go.
Yes, I was trying.
Klonopin.
He knows. He
Yep.
knows. Yep.
Yep. That stuff will mess with you, man. Big time.
It'll knock you down.
Big time.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
oh no, not
And
good.
that's the thing is, like, you can go there and whether you got nerve problems or not, dude, you
They're
can
gonna
get
give
them.
it to you.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
gonna,
dude,
Like
it's
by
like-
the bucket full. Like,
And,
"Here,
and
we
as
got
a
some
man
extras."
that took a lot of pride in being a great drug addict, of course I'm gonna take them.
Why not?
course
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
abuse these every way I can. Like, what are you guys crazy?
Okay, you're gonna give these too? Okay,
This is
it's like
insane.
it's
This is
so
insane.
it's like, God, guys, it's like
Really,
you guys it
really
just
doesn't seem to make much sense at this
it,
point.
it doesn't. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Hey, but
man.
AB, I seen your comment about your son, and man, I hate that. Oh man, heroin is so
Oh,
hard.
buddy.
And once again, let me clarify. I push up going to clinics. I push up going that. That's a step. But what I don't push up is us convincing people that that's the final step. The final step is to pass that too.
Correct.
And get right on
Correct.
past all of it.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying. I'm
Because
not
like
saying
any tool, if it's used correctly, you can do your switch over. You can do your pass over so quick. It's unreal. And yeah, it's going to sting a bit, but it's a hell of a lot better. I mean, man, when you bought heroin on the street, you got heroin. Now they got this stuff that's multicolored. It's purple, it's green, and it drops people in one. Gone. And I'm happy that this might be weird to say. I'm happy I went through it when I did, because if I was going through it now, we wouldn't be talking. That
I can tell you, I'd be
that
dead.
stuff drops people. Like, just
I'd have been
I
dead.
don't understand that business model either. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't you want returning reliable customers? And like, anyway, it's
Did Chris say, is Chris, I didn't know if he was going to come on still or not, where he just woke up. I'll drop the link, though. I don't mind at all. I might have missed a comment or two. A lot of addicts never hit rock bottom, and enablers that keep them going. And that's where I'm coming. That's how I'm coming from it, AB,
yep.
is I feel very strongly in being that person that absolutely doesn't feed into bullcrap, which is enabling. And I don't give, I don't throw out good
You're-
things for bad, which is enabling.
That's right.
Because addicts are so good at, they're so good at it
Oh,
that they convince
masters.
themselves what they're
Yep.
saying is
Yep.
true,
Yep.
while they're trying to convince the people that's around them the truth. And I like
And
being
you
that
have
voice.
eyes in your head. You see
Yeah,
a person
like you see it.
deteriorating. So if you're adding to that, you're just putting more gas on that fire. And they're not going to like it. Of course they're not going to like it. They're not going to get what they want. But by not getting what you want, maybe, hopefully, we'll fire something to say, I don't want to even live this way. This is craziness. Like, look at what I'm doing to my family. Look, usually
Well, and if
yourself's
you're
the last
fooling
part of the
yourself,
equation.
if you're fooling yourself by thinking that you're okay, then ask yourself this.
Yeah.
But what for would happen if I don't have this?
Well, you know.
And if the answer is I'm going to be hurting, then let's start doing something about it. Let's start getting a handle on it.
And it don't matter
because
what
it's
it
going to
is.
happen. It's
Yep.
going to happen. Our world, our lives are not meant to just be dictated. Your endorphin release in your brain is not meant to be dictated by a pill or a substance.
is not.
It's just not meant to be.
Nope.
It's not. Shout out to everybody in the house. I
Appreciate you
appreciate
guys.
your feedback, AB, and I did not know that about you, brother. But now that I do, I'll put some extra thought and prayers. And if there's ever any way you think that anything if you think there's any way of him reaching out or talking or anything, just know any way. But I appreciate you sharing that with us. Thank you. It does.
You know what? That I came up in that era of, if you were a kid who was like, let's say active or like, there weren't words for this stuff when I grew up. It was just like, oh, that's the hyper kid in class. And my best friend was one of the hyperest kids, so creative, like, you know what I mean? He was just not, he couldn't sit still because like he'd figure things out so quickly. And then they went and put him on this stuff, right? On the Adderall. And they honestly, probably half the kids I went to school with was on it, and they kept trying to. My parents like, oh yeah, Shine should be on it too, and my mom went in there like raised holy hell. Like, how is it you're given? Keep in mind now, this was like in the '80s, all right. So we're talking like late '80s, early '90s, and people then had enough wherewithal to be like, you don't medicate children, and on top of that, to give them pure methamphetamine, like that's what you're doing to correct this problem. And in 20 years, they're suffering from kidney and liver failure. We got a whole generation lost to this stuff.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Enough's enough.
It
Enough is
scares
enough.
me in my area, honestly, because there's so many men my age and a little younger that if it actually did, like, and I speak this from the truth, like,
Yes, sir.
if they really did, if something happened and they just closed down and they weren't there, dude, it would be like a bomb going off in this area.
Zombie
as far as-
apocalypse is what it would be like.
Like, it
You know
would
what
be
I mean?
scary. And there's so many people, that's what I say. There's going to come a day of rue because there's a lot of people that's in position that's telling me I should do this and I should do that, or you should do it like this, you should do it like that. But you let this happen and then their secret get revealed, they ain't going to have no clue what actually needs to be done and what the pain truly feels like.
Oh my.
You know,
my.
being
Yes.
aware that it's going to hurt is one of the first steps in knowing how to get past it. It's going to suck. You put yourself through
agree.
misery to get here.
I agree.
But-
and that's where I said having somebody that can tell you, like, yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to hurt worse than probably anything you've experienced in your life. But when it's done, you can actually have a life. You can learn from this. You can change and you can help people, because there's a lot of BS about you can't beat this. Once you're into it, you're too far gone. You're a loss. You're a junkie. You're nothing. No. Maybe for a little while. Yeah, probably. You probably did do some pretty nasty things that you do owe some apologies to some other people and probably yourself. But there's two fellas right here, okay, that have been through this dance. And since day one, I know we both said if we can save one person just one step in that process and help you understand any way you cut it, the quicker way you cut it, the quicker way you deal with it, the better your life will become. And that much I can guarantee you. That much I can. Because
Sorry, Chris. It might not have been. Hold on. That might have been the link from yesterday. I don't know. Hold on. I'll get you took care of, though.
I agree. I agree with the because my thing is typically like, well, not typically, always a child, right? It's our responsibility to raise them up. All right. Now, if of course there are people that are born with behavioral issues and they do require medication, but that is not the majority, right? And if you're over 18 and you choose, or 21, whatever it happens to be, wherever you happen to live, that this is something that you're choosing, not that somebody has said you need to take this or else you don't get to come to school, because that's what they did up here, right? If your kid doesn't take it, then we got to boot them out. Well, you can't have your kid not get an education, so now
Right.
you're forcing a pill down somebody's throat, right?
Yeah.
And then you find out, well, wait a minute, there wasn't even a diagnosis done for this. This was a guidance counselor who said, I think,
Yeah.
and then boom, here you go.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah, that was their big thing in my era coming up in the elementary schools and stuff, was the whole Ritalin and
man.
all that shit. And my mom was like, "He can go
hell
outside
no.
and play.
Have you met this guy?
He
Let
can go
him
outside and
run."
play." Yeah, like,
Exactly.
and my
Yeah.
mom and dad was like, "No, it ain't happening." You know, and I'm glad that they did that,
Me
because
too.
I
Me
was
too.
hyperactive enough that it would have been justified for them to do.
They could
But
have pulled it off. Yeah.
they could have pulled it off. But man, now my mom and dad's like, "Nah, he can just go outside and play."
And that's
Nah,
important. That's
you know.
important because you've heard both us say it. Like, parents, remember, they're your kids, and they'll try and bully you with this kind of stuff, and you gotta make a call. And
Yeah.
I'm happy that my mom made the call she did. She was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
mom bear, but she let them know exactly like what she thought of it, and like, no,
Absolutely,
this
my mom was that same, like, "Nah,
oh no,
get
oh,
my
no.
boy at," you know what I
That's
mean?
it.
Like,
That teacher actually that recommended it for me, she had to go on stress leave for 6 months after she talked to my
Yeah.
mother. So,
But I
Anyway,
definitely,
wish you
man,
well.
when it comes to this kind of stuff, there's a passion behind it, because I see this domino effect in my area, especially, where it's not just about like I'm telling you, it would cripple my little town and the little surrounding towns. Hey, there's a lot of people that are professionals that run high tech stuff and do really high things, that when this ain't air for them to get, what happens? Because
Well, think
they're
about
just
this.
it's
think
bad.
about this. Statistics. What do they say? There's 3 kinds of lies: lies, damn lies, and statistics.
Indeed.
Now, they say 1 in 3 people are addicted to pain medication in this country, in Canada. Okay, 1 in 3. Now, that's the reported number. Think about that. It's always lower than what it actually is. So you're batting closer to 1 in 2. 50% of the population. And now you can actually see that the water's become unfit to drink because the body can't process all these things correctly. And now it goes back into the water system that our children drink. And now we got all these different things that are happening peculiarly, yet again, right? After so much time going on. Medicated state is not a good place to be. You need to be, and I get it can be uncomfortable. I get that it can be all sorts of things. But the one thing I learned is by dealing with it, okay? And yes, it took a long time for me to figure out how to do that. But by dealing with it, eventually my life started to present itself before me. And that went away for a long time. Like when I was young, I could see where I wanted to go, where I was headed, right? And then there's just this black spot of chasing, not being sick.
Well, I see your comment there, Rhonda in Alabama Country. We appreciate y'all being here. This is Guy and Shine, 10 to 1 Eastern Standard Time. We got our buddy Chris the Flash going to be coming up here in just a second. We're going to play a little song and get up and get us a drink and stretch, and then we'll bring Chris up. Rhonda, yeah, and I'll say this about that. I don't know exactly which way that you're coming at me with this, but I'll come at you in the way that I know. What I do know is if they are using marijuana, then I can say, okay, well, then at least I do know that that's grew somewhere and it's not produced by somebody. And I will say this, as a man that has ulcerative colitis and has since he was 9 and have had a, very serious illness all of my life, had a hip replaced at 23 years old from sickness, not from an injury. I can say this, that from using marijuana, not only has it been a benefit as far as my appetite and as far as some pain relief, but I can also say that if I don't have it, I don't have that physical withdrawal that keeps me from doing stuff. I don't have that physical sickness that keeps me from, I just don't have it. So I can say that from a personal standpoint, not an education standpoint, a personal standpoint. From an education standpoint, I can say this, that there's things that as a drug addict that I abused and my brain lost. And what it has been proven is that there is cannabinoids and things that do help to retrieve some of these balances that I lost from years of drug addiction and years of synthetic things going into my brain. So what I will say to you is I don't condone using anything in replacement of something else to call it coming off of. But what I do condone is if something does help you physically and it's at your disposal to use it, and you can say, okay, well, I see that this benefits me in this way, and I can see that this education or that this that I've learned from this is true. Then I say if you're an adult and you feel like you can use that and it'll help you, then by all means. Because there's people, I can tell you, I have ulcerative colitis, and my wife will tell you I do not eat because I'm hungry. I eat to live. I eat because I know that I need to eat. And I can tell you the one benefit that I've gotten is that it does help me to at least want to eat. And it's hard sometimes to want to eat. I'm telling you, I have to make myself get up and say, okay, I need to eat a certain amount of protein every day. And I'll go eat just a can of tuna, and that sounds crazy. It's just so that I can eat it and I know, like, okay,
Can
I
I
got
ask you
some.
a question?
Sure.
Because something I noticed myself personally, after years of abuse that I inflicted on myself, right? That like I say to my wife all the time, if I could get a space tube like the spacemen used to eat, you know what I mean? Like, because I don't even enjoy eating anymore. And a lot of guys that I know after they stopped, like the ones that did get cleaned up, either ended up getting diagnosed with Crohn's disease or like crazy, you know what I mean, some kind of thing. Right. And I have found that like my appetite, like yes, I have to force feed myself, which is just something that like I don't mean like, you know what I mean, like, but I have to make an effort to remember to eat, or I won't eat. I won't eat for 2-3 days, man.
Right.
Like I just don't. And I wonder if like with what you're already were dealing with, did that kind of exasperate the situation? Do you think, or do you know?
As far as exasperate,
Like you already had your medical condition, right? And then you were in the the dope game, and you.
Oh well, I say
did
it wholeheartedly. I played the human card, and I used a little bit of pain, a little bit of sickness
Yeah.
to play it, to get more pain pills. Now, obviously, I had some bad, serious medical conditions, or I wouldn't have had a hip replaced from sickness at 23 years old. Obviously, I had some pretty bad medical decisions.
But obviously, we
situations.
leaned into it a little bit too.
Yeah, and I used it
Yeah.
as a human being. I used it, and I got plenty of pain pills. And
They couldn't
that
give
I'm
them
not.
away fast enough back then.
Oh,
like,
dude.
a lot of people
Oh,
don't.
dude.
But I don't want to. Like one thing I try to anytime like I'm talking about anything in any format, I don't want to pick a side. And I will say this: I do know that those same medications that we were given when we shouldn't have been, and them doctors, I mean, they knew what they were doing. I mean, everything's out now, but there is a time and a place. Like, my father-in-law right now is, who knows, right? Who knows if he's going to pull through her this time or not? And it's in that kind of state. Yes, okay, all right, I see where they can be sanctioned, but if you don't need it, I wish the doctor would have took me, because the guy who gave me my prescription, okay, the first guy, and I was with him for years before I even knew what the jig was up, because take 3 of these a day, here's why, replace your knee, blah blah blah. So you do, and then 4 years later you go to a destination wedding in a country, right, that ain't your country, and they lose your bags. And the first 24 hours don't go too bad. But then the second day hits in. and your legs are kicking and you're stirring and you got that knot in your stomach and you don't know what's going on. This is how naive I was. I had no clue. I didn't even know what the word addiction meant. At 28 years old, had no clue. Never heard of it. Never heard of it. I've seen alcoholics. I mean, I grew up with alcoholics, you know what I mean? But I did not think that a doctor, because I was told, and the way I was raised was if something came in on the phone, the hard line on the wall, or you went and seen the doctor, those were the two people you trusted because they had your six, right? Well, 4.5 years into her, down in Jamaica, that's when I realized, oh shit. And I'll say it like that. And if you've been there, you've been there. And luckily, there was a fellow there who was able to recognize what I was dealing with. And there was a bit of a language barrier. And I don't know about you, but when I get sick, right? I just want to crawl into a hole, leave me alone. Like,
Yeah, there's no comfort.
there ain't no comfort, and I don't like. It's embarrassing, it's degrading, it's everything, the worst of everything, and you can't even really defend yourself. Right? This is key. So think about this if you're thinking about doing anything that you think is so important. Like it will feel like the most important thing in the world when you feel sick, that you got to get better. All right, that's your first cue that you need to make a change as soon as humanly possible. So that's it on that. That's all.
All right, shout out to everybody in the house. Rhonda in Alabama country, I appreciate your feedback, and I'm such a proponent of good wholesome comments and good wholesome. I like conversation because I will always give you my honest opinion, and I will never ever come at you from a position of I think that this is what I know. No, I can tell you from my standpoint, this is what I know. Now, is that necessarily? That doesn't mean I'm saying that for me, this is how I see it, and that's how I always like to throw it out.
How we've been through it,
because
and that's it.
To stand here and try to pontificate to you what the right thing for you to do is would be crazy for me, because I went through a world of mess before I figured out how to get to this side. So you probably have to go through a world of mess to get to the other side, like myself.
Not probably. You do.
You've already been through a world of mess if you're there. So
That's
it's like,
it.
and you're going to have to go through some mess to get back out of it for sure.
No.
And it's going to suck.
I say it's a slow waltz in and it's a slower waltz out. But if you do the waltz, baby, you can get out.
Yeah, and there's certain things that I found for myself along the way, that forcing myself to do some of the simple things again, then I started finding enjoyment in them again. Because what I'd done is just stop doing them. I thought that life had got no fun. But the truth of the matter is, I'd got no fun. I stopped doing stuff. Only thing I'd done was pain pills.
Very well said.
You know what I mean?
Very well
So
said.
it's like, once I started getting out and saying, you know what, the sun still is beautiful. Man, that breeze feels good. You know what? That dog playing over there
smelling
brings
flowers for the last 7 years.
You know, those things smell good now that I ain't
yeah.
got a bunch of pain pills gobbled
Stuck
up in
my
my
nose.
nose and I can't smell nothing. I mean, it's like for real.
Has that
That's
has
the way it
always
was.
been there?
But we got we got Chris the Flash in the house. Chris, I'm gonna go get me another refill on
sir.
coffee, and we're gonna play a quick song, and then we'll be back up and we'll all come up. All right, man. Cool deal. He
Appreciate
sees
y'all.
us and he can hear us. So yeah, appreciate y'all. This is Guy and Shine, 10 to 1 Eastern Standard Time.
You know it, baby. Bringing you the real deets.
Yeah.
We got it on it today, man.
Do you want me to? You want to go with another Gaston? I got. I
light
can
him up.
still
It's his
make
birthday.
Cheyenne
It's his birthday.
in here. All right. Well, shout out to Gaston Guitar Covers. Happy birthday to you,
brother.
my brother.
Happy birthday.
This is "I Can Still Make Cheyenne" by George Strait. This is 4 minutes, Sean.
Excellent.
So
Perfect. Okay.
got enough time for a refill and a
Stretch
stretch,
and
man.
flex. Yes,
Chris the
sir.
Flash, we got 4 minutes. Well, he's the Flash. It don't matter. We could have 4 seconds and he would have
he's
been
there,
fine.
He's everywhere. He's
Yeah,
fine.
it doesn't matter. He's Chris the Flash, man.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
guys.
All right.
This is Guy and Shine. We appreciate y'all. We'll be back
Appreciate
here in
y'all.
just a few.
Never knew what his calls might bring, but a cowboy like him, it could be anything. She always expected the worst in the back of her mind.
All right, man.
Well, sir.
I tell you what, he just keeps on bringing them, daggone it. Gaston's
Yep.
guitar cover. Happy birthday to you, brother. Good job, man.
Yes, sir.
Happy birthday, Gaston. My mom and Missy, they love that song. I knew they would because George Strait, I mean,
How
You
can
know.
you not, right?
you know, whatever.
He's already gassed.
Whatever. I have a pair of Wrangler jeans, too.
Yeah.
Even got me a cowboy hat.
I only wear them on fancy occasions, though. You know. Whatever.
Whatever.
Next subject.
Next, moving along. Hey, we got Chris the Flash in the house, man. We're gonna bring up Chris. Hey, Chris, what's up?
What's happening?
What's up,
buddy?
y'all? What's up? What's up?
What's up, man? Good to see you, buddy. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. I ain't gonna bother y'all. Y'all speaking some knowledge. So
Man, it ain't never a bother. We get started on those kind of subjects, though. It's
The
passion, man.
3 hours went by real quick, man. Like, it's like, you know.
It's passion, you
It
know, and I
is.
think people
It is,
resonate
yeah.
with passion when they see people talking real. Like, hey, man, I ain't here to sugarcoat nothing. I'm here to be
Nope.
honest. And,
Nope.
like, I sugarcoat a lot of things for a lot of years, and I was the best at bullcrap. And I found out quick that my whole card got pulled fast and found out what addiction felt like. I had myself convinced, I was going to doctor. I'm allowed to be on this. And hey, whether you're allowed to be on it or not, if they take it away, you're crippled. It's like, whether you're allowed to have it or not, if they take it away, that means that you're screwed. And that's my point is like, man, they convince you that it's cool, but then they got you by a yo-yo. And I
And
hate
they
that
will
for
take
people.
it away.
Yes,
See,
they
that's
will.
that's the part we left out. All right.
Yep.
When I got sassy with my doctor, and by sassy, I meant, I said, there's a problem here. And this,
Oh, that's
right then and
You're
there,
done.
he took my script and he cut it in half, and he goes,
watch how they do shine. Watch how they do shine. Just like that.
Hi.
Just like that. Go. Go.
And
Go.
then I
That's how
bring
they
a
do.
beer.
Yeah. That's how they do. They'll be like, oh,
And then
Chris,
you-
you don't. Oh,
but-
you don't
but-
want to follow our rules?
I'm gonna tell you.
Okay.
what.
Gone.
You're done.
Yeah, you know.
You're done. You're done.
That's how
Next.
they do, man.
Next.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Oh,
that's
oh,
exactly
God.
what he
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, guy's gone now.
Gone. Gone.
No, there's another 10 years in the bin. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Hey,
Like,
yeah.
it's just,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous, dude.
It
And
is, and
it's-
that's where it saddens me for the people that's in my life that I care about. Is like,
Yeah,
man, I just want to see you truly be free, where that can't happen to you,
Oh, man.
because it can and it will eventually. Because think about
will.
it, guys.
No,
How
it-
long can this process go on? If you're 40 years old or 30 years old and you're going to a clinic, how long do you think your body's really going to be able to stand this chemical you're putting in it? And much less that. How long do you think the system's actually going to keep providing?
You took the words
I mean,
out of my
you know,
mouth. It's like they're cutting everything. You think
It's-
that's not at the top of the docket right now?
Yeah, man.
You better wait.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I
Yeah.
just...
Drink the
yeah.
Kool-Aid. Don't
Oh,
forget to
man.
drink the
Yeah.
Kool-Aid.
Put the blinders on. Everything
forget
is
to drink the
fine.
Kool-Aid.
Everything is fine.
Yeah, man, you can't do that to yourself. But that also makes it hard for people like us that's been through it, because it's like, I really do support all the systems in place to help. What I don't support is the endless help.
No,
It's like, man, you
no.
guys are convincing people this is the last step, and that's not the
it's
last
not.
step.
It's you're hanging them out to dry, man.
Yeah.
like you're hanging them out.
Let's
to dry.
get them on to the last step.
And like, I don't even want to think about that. Like, we were talking a bit before the show, and a guy that like I rolled hard with, like he was like, we slept back to back on the road. You know what I mean? Like, you had to have a buddy. Like, in a city like this, like at this time there was people going around, okay, because the frustration was so high. with the amount of people that were addicted on drugs. There were people going out with gas cans and lighting people on fire at nighttime.
Yeah. That's
So
crazy,
you literally
man.
had to sleep back to back. You had to have your boots duct taped to your feet. Like I can't say enough like how much you just don't want to end up there. Like you don't, and
No,
not
it's
many
not.
people will make it more than 2 weeks.
Nothing fun about that.
No,
Nothing fun about that.
not a bit. And
Thank you, Jimena.
Yeah, you gotta whatever it is. I suggest talking about it. You know what I mean, and being real about it, because
Yeah.
that's the other thing. People start the process and they're still bullshitting. They're still
Yeah, man.
manipulating, and like I'm gonna say, it's the person on the other side of the desk knows, and you're not doing yourself any
Well,
favor. You're
I
creating
mean,
a
we've
huge
all
delay.
spoke on it.
Yeah.
Addicts and drug addicts are some of the smartest, most
Oh, man.
manipulative
Oh,
people
dude.
ever on the planet.
Yep.
And
yep.
you know, for me, as a former addict,
Mm-hmm.
a person who was really truly strung out, then it's hard for me to if I see bullshit, it's hard for me not to call it out. It's just like, dude, you're insulting me by a man that really has went through the pain to get to the other side. You're insulting me by suggesting anything otherwise is real. It's an insult because it's
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, I'm
Yeah.
cool with honest. I'm cool with wherever you are, but
But-
let's not fake it because that's all I was doing too. And the reality is going to get pulled one of these days, and that's
Well,
that's
that
the
was
part.
one of the best things that, you know, aside of having a son and, you know, somehow managing to have a wonderful enough woman that stuck with me through all these years, was going back. Because you've heard me say it many times. I said, if I ever find a way out of this situation, if I ever find a way out, I'm finding a way to give back. So I got associated with this particular, you know, program up here, and I was dealing with guys in the exact same situation that me and you were in, getting released, getting a second chance, and they thought they were going to get some, you know, let's just say older, kinder maybe person, and then they meet me at the door. And I'm going to tell you, is it right at the rip, it's like, this is how this is going to go. There's 3 rules. Catch you doing anything that's outside of the 10 rules that are on the wall, you're done. If you lie to me once, you're done. If you even think about pulling something in this house and jeopardizing anybody else's safety, I'll bury you alive. And it usually went 90% in my favor. And it actually created a rift, because the traditional sense of teaching or helping is not that approach. It's come on in, sit down, draw a picture of yourself on a mountain. It's like, that ain't helping you. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna help you. If you do not do this right, you're going back to prison, you're losing everything, and you have a shot here. And these are all guys who are doing it. So you got a leader and a mentorship program, right? And that was very, very, very successful, because at a certain point, you have to be called exactly out the way it is, right? Like, you're not here in front of me because you made good choices, friend, just like I did not. That's why I ended up here, right? So now you have a choice, and you can either keep lying to yourself and burying yourself in this, or you can do something about it, because now you don't have the drugs. You're off the drugs right now, right? At this point, you're detoxed, and you're here to actually process why it is you're doing these things. And there was still quite a bit of resistance, because
I
unfortunately,
don't know what point you find the detox. Because around here, even
Yeah.
after somebody's been in prison for a few years, they've been getting it in prison the whole time. So
Oh,
when
no.
do you get them detoxed?
well, what they do now,
You know
here,
what I'm saying? It's
yeah,
like,
they chain you to a bed for 7 days up here. They'll handcuff you. And
yeah,
then they
well, I
drive
mean,
you.
that's great. Sounds
Yeah.
good, but then it doesn't last. Doesn't
No,
do
it don't.
nothing.
It don't.
Doesn't do nothing.
It don't. And like, you would have that talk, like, and some people, like,
And
for me, it took being ready for it myself. Like, there was no, I don't know, like, it was kind of different back then. Like, there wasn't, I mean, I had a job, I had a family, and you couldn't tell your boss that you had this problem. You know what I mean? You couldn't even, for the work I was doing, you couldn't even be on this medication. I mean, everybody
It
was,
shouldn't be.
but everybody wasn't, right, at the same time.
That's why that I got sickened by the counseling.
Yep.
Was because you're making me go and listen to some man spout off some stuff that I could hear at any local AA or NA anonymous meeting.
I'm not talking
On
about the
as
counselor.
much or
I'm talking
more-
about when I was in the oil field, right? Like
Yeah.
in the oil field. No, I never did any of that. Like that shit was done. By the time I started counseling, like my philosophy was the same as. That's why I raised such a fucking rift in that place. Excuse my language, was because I went to that same place and like they were. I like what Zach said yesterday. I told him what was on my mind, and I got in more trouble, and I got sent back. And that's when something switched in my brain and said, no. This is not how this is ever going to work. It's not going to work like this. You have to say something. You have to go against the grain. And it's hard because part of that, you have to expose the things you've done. And you have to, you know what I mean? You have to deal with them. And that takes a minute. But you have to do it. You have to do it for yourself.
Yeah, it's a personal decision.
Yeah, man.
It's a personal decision. In the end, it's a personal decision. Until I got tired of the situation, I didn't do nothing to change it.
Nah.
I didn't do nothing to change it. Let's just be honest. Now, I did get angry every time I had to go sit and listen to some bunch of shit that some little counselor was talking that I was like, dude, I read that same book and I read the same passage out of that book. And you don't have no clue what you're talking about because you're fake. You're fake. You're fake. I seen you at the methadone clinic getting your dose an hour before this class, and you want me to listen to what you got to say? Are you outside your mind?
I've had a revelation.
Like, hey, I used to, hey, that's why it didn't work for me. I had to just find my own path and get off of it because it's like, y'all are full of crap. I'm like, dude, you was just getting your dose, and you're in here trying to tell me how to live? Are you outside your mind? Are you outside your mind? That's like telling me, hey, this convicted bank robber is going to show you how to rob a bank successfully. Kiss my butt one cheek at a time,
maybe.
man.
I
know
mean,
better
one
than that.
in five. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
you gotta
come
play.
on, man. Come on.
But Chris,
I mean-
how are you doing, bro?
Get me fired up on here, Chris.
He's all. When
Hey, I call out every one of them too, and I still know their names. I'd call out every one of them right now, and they know I would. That's why they'd never say anything.
Yeah.
Because they know.
One of the biggest points is like, that was the one thing I like. Man, I just wish I never went on the maintenance program, as they called it, right? I wish there was no reason for me to. I was off of it, like I was totally off of it for 3 months, right? And then it was time to go back to society. So they're like, oh, well, you know, just to edge your bets, like they got this new blank, you know, drug, and take this, and like, you know, I'm like, well,
It'll fix everything in your world.
yeah, but then it's like, well, no, I don't want to take that. And they're like, well, then we can't let you go, right?
Yeah, it ain't right. It ain't right.
No.
It ain't right.
So,
Anyway, Chris.
Anywho, moving
the
on.
Flash.
yeah.
I mean, to go along with y'all story, so like, you know, addictions got different forms. As y'all can see, if y'all see me, I'm always
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's
there's
an
my
addiction.
Mountain Dew. Oh, I got my coffee right now. It's one of the addictions, but I got Mountain Dew too.
So, no, it was bad for me, y'all. When I was younger, I tried to like go cold turkey when it came to caffeine, and all of a sudden my head started hurting,
Mhm.
and I was like, "What is going on?" I had a migraine for like a week. This is during my birthday time. I was like, "Yeah, I can't do the cold turkey no more." So like now I'm slowly trying to get off of caffeine. I was almost addicted to muscle relaxers
Yeah.
because I had
Yep.
trouble sleeping,
Yep.
and muscle relaxers helps that situation. So
Mhm.
I couldn't do that no more. And then I know somebody personally that's addicted to alcohol.
Yeah.
So
That's
you
the
can't tell 'em
that's
that.
the big
Can't tell 'em
biggest one. No, you can't. You can't. It's, you know what, like
My
that.
mom's got jokes, Sean. I'm sorry. Look,
Huh?
my mom talking jokes about me. She said, "Hi, Chris. Hope to hear you soon."
Yes. She's ever gonna give him a minute. But now I totally forgot what I was.
I'm sorry. I was just like, I gotta show him this. My mom.
No, that's great.
She
That's
just
great.
called me
She's
out
right.
like,
No,
"Go to bed, Mom."
don't you be sassy now. Don't be sassy.
Look,
But
look,
sorry, Chris.
guy. Yeah, I'm about to say, guy. My mom tells me this all the time. You ain't too old to get your butt whooped.
That
Mm-mm.
is a fact. That
Mm-mm.
is a fact.
I
That's why
literally
that
said
you
that to
just
my
seen
boy
me
the
do
other day.
this. That's why I did this, because my mom lives next door. So I'm just going to leave for a second. And I'll just shut up, because it's the only way I'm going to shut up, because I'll drop out of the screen. I'll still be talking. Y'all just won't be able to hear me.
He does this
So,
all the time.
I do this all the time.
Fortunately, the mic stays muted for about 5 to 10 minutes. Oh man, but yeah. So like with the caffeine thing, that's interesting because like my I didn't really know like my birth family. It's a whole story, right? But anyway, I ended up meeting them later on in life, and I was like up here. They got Tim Hortons. Have you ever heard of Tim Hortons?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So like man, in the town I grew up in, there's 17,000 people, but there was 36 Tim Hortons. So like think about that. And they were like every time you went, it was like a jammed line, right? So like I'd just be drinking coffee because I was working outside in the cold and the trades like and stuff like that. So it kept me warm. But like every time I drink it, like man, I get like I feel like this heat rush hitting me, right? So when I eventually met my family, they're like, "You can drink coffee?" I'm like, "Well, I drink coffee, and I was drinking Red Bulls and Ziences at the time. Like this was insane. I was doing an electrical job for this what would you call it, like a like herbal like medicine type store, right? And I was up on the ladder and I was like pulling wires and stuff. This is like 6 in the morning and like January, dark, cold. It's just duh, you know, like let's get this done. So I go out and I'm ripping on these wires trying to get them through and everything's all screwed up. Like this woman like knocks the bottom of my ladder and she goes, "What is this?" And I'm like, "That's called science. It's UFC. All the UFC fighters drink science." You know what I mean? And she's like, "Well, what's in it?" I'm like, "Well, you can read the label." And she knew her stuff, right? And she goes, "The caffeine's not even the worst part of this." She's like, "The taurine in the guava is like because with vitamins you can get a lethal dose, right? So like you're taking it, it's not going to kill you now, but it does serious organ damage to you." And I was like, by 8 o'clock in the morning, because you'd always get like 2 for like $4, right? And then like I'd get a guy go run on break, so like by noon I'd have like 3 or 4 of those things in me. And like when I stopped and when I met my family, they're like, how do you do that? But I'd be so jittered, like I'd be shaking, like, you know what I mean? Like it was insane. I couldn't sleep. I had crazy dreams. Like I'd wake up in a sweat and stuff. So I kicked caffeine probably about like 6 years ago, and I was just like, no more. Especially after I learned that like the majority of my family is like very allergic to it, which is what I think brought out like that kind of reaction. But when you said the headaches, that was the biggest thing, man. Like it would feel like right here, dude. Like it was just that like you know, it feels like something's gonna explode from the outside or inside out type thing. So. But how's it going on the step down? Like, what's your?
Just like okay, so I don't really like to drink water. I know that's a you don't like to drink water.
It's kind of important, but
Yeah,
you know.
it doesn't have flavor for me.
Yeah.
So what I do is to try to get myself onto a little bit more water. I'll get like the sugar free packets of like flavor, and then
Yep.
put it in the water. I mean, I know that's not as good as just drinking water, but it's tricking my mind to be like, okay, he's drinking water at least. So that's what I'm slowly, because Sean, it was when because this is when my video games was kicking in. So I'm drinking like, I'm not gonna even lie, y'all, like probably 2 liters every night.
Holy smokes, dude.
Yeah.
That's that like I get that's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, my father-in-law, like he's up there now, but I remember my wife telling me like they used to drink like him and her mom would drink like a 24 pack per day of Diet Pepsi, right? And I'm like, how? And she's like, that's how I made like most of my money to go to college, because she'd take the cans back and she saved up her money to go. But like, it was just it's crazy. Well, like I remember like when I was growing up, addiction was like a couple of things, right? Like as far as I knew anyway, like there was alcoholism, right? And then they'd have like what they called the hippies, but like they weren't really considered addicts. And then there was the junkies. And like I say that word like that because that's what I became, right? And I hated the damn word. Like, you know what I mean? Like the word itself was like tragic. But now it's like everything, like, and I wonder what caused that switch. Like, where did it go from everything being totally like, okay, these are the bad things, and as long as you don't do these really bad things, things will shake out okay for you. But now things like sugar, shopping, sex, like, you know what I mean? You can name anything, dude. It's an addiction, right? So like something in our mentality and like I don't know, maybe the lack of belief in something like yourself, like for one, that was a big thing for me. Like I just stopped caring about who I was. Like it didn't matter. Like it didn't matter, and you get lost in it, right? And everybody has different reasons why that happens. But I think what's the most important thing to take away from that is that there's always a way back, right? And like the biggest thing is just try and ask, you know what I mean? And you're not going to hit them all the time, but like you got to, and everybody's got a process, you know what I mean? Like it's nuts. Like I remember him saying, my father-in-law, he took just out of habit, he'd take a Tylenol every day, right? And he worked for the train company up here.
Mm-hmm.
And when he retired, my mother-in-law, she's a nurse, right? She's like, Brian, like, why are you taking these? And he's like, well, I just got used to, because he didn't like, he take the bus to go downtown, right? So kind of like he said, he thought he'd get a headache, so he was taking it as a preventative measure. And then he stopped, and like he went through like crazy headaches and cluster headaches for like 2 years, like just off taking a Tylenol, you know what I mean? So like the body's an interesting thing. You never know what's gonna latch onto it, but when you get the physical dependency involved, and that seems to come through so many mechanisms now, because something that may affect me might not affect you, and vice versa. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So,
And see, that's another thing about being addicted to something. You're so addicted to it, everybody around you can see it, but you, because you're so used to it. Like, look, me drinking a Coke. Like, I don't know. I just always have a Coke in my hand. To me personally, I know I'm addicted to caffeine because I gotta have it every single day. That's what addiction is. Gotta have it every single day, and I don't even think about it. I don't think twice about it. I just drink a Coke.
how many a day would you say that you have? Like, do you like on average, or do you?
So this is when I know I'm doing good because like I got a 24 pack. I've been having for like the last maybe 3 weeks. Usually my old self, I'll probably kill that in a day.
No doubt.
A 2-4 in a day? Wow, dude.
So
Wow.
it's like I know that
Dang.
Yeah. That's like, you know, like I worry about that for my son, because like he is a sugar addict and he becomes a maniac. Like reminds me of my old self, dude. He'd be like, come here, God, can I have a cookie? Yeah, I'm like, dude, you've already had 4. He's like, I just want one more. I just want one more. Like, that's what they all say, dude.
It
They
doesn't
all
make
say,
me hyper, Dad.
I can stop anytime I want. But I won't.
I'm telling you now, son, it's not working.
Daddy don't Reiki. Don't Reiki at all.
Man.
Yeah, dude. No. But like, yeah, he'll get tweaked right out, and then my wife starts yelling at me, and I'll be like, "You're the one who took him grocery shopping and said he could buy Pop-Tarts, and he bought 6 boxes of them. Now he's shoving them like he's like a dog. Like you try to take a piece of meat, don't even go near him, man. He'll rip your hand right off. You'll be jacked up. It's like gone. But we gotta like, dude, like." It's crazy some of the diets that like these young kids have now, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
man.
I don't want to name any brands. We keep naming brands and it's probably going to get us in trouble eventually.
Shout out to Mountain Dew. Holler at me.
Yeah. All right, well, the hell with it. Prime. Have you guys heard of Prime, the drink Prime?
and Logan Paul and KSI.
Well, yeah, man. So like I was like, "Oh, this is like a healthy drink, right?" And like go in the store and I buy it I bought it one time for my son. He's like, Dad, give me the ice pop, right? Because like I'm like, what the hell's an ice pop? But anyway, I went in and I figured out what it was, and we were on our way to a hockey game, and he slams this thing back, and he was like lethargic by the time he was on the ice. I'm like, this thing says it's healthy. And
Yeah,
then I
it's
read
like-
the ingredients. It's like sugar, glucose, high glucose. Like,
Yeah.
what?
It's sugar.
Extract from some
It's sugar.
crazy tree you've never heard
Magical
of, and you're like,
unicorn horn
Yeah.
and beetle shells.
yeah. And you're like, well, I'm gonna get me a can.
Yeah,
too.
this sounds good, man. It smells amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But honestly, I hate saying this. His buddies drink it every day. There's one of his buddies that drink every day. That particular brand, and like this kid's not even 10 years old, and he's got like a beer belly on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it
And I'm
sucks.
like, what is happening?
Yeah, that's
What is happening? Like,
That's
you,
not
this is
cool.
that's pre-diabetic
Not
kind of
cool.
stuff. Like, you
Yeah.
gotta,
Yeah.
you know, like that ain't cool. That ain't cool,
you know,
man.
it's not cool, man.
So I feel
you know,
bad
my
for the
kids-
kids. I try to educate them anytime I
when my-
can, man. But like, try water, and they're like, "Yeah, screw you, coach." They're like, "I got this juicy."
my son,
yeah.
when he was born, you know, his mom on her side of the family, they're bigger people. You know, I'm a skinny fella. My family, most are small people, not small, but just thinner people. And my son, when he was about 10 years old, you know, he's a chunky little fella, you know, had baby weight, but he was also chunky. You know, let's just be honest. He ate, you know, he was an eater. He always was an eater. And, it was a good eater. He ate good food, but he also ate bad food. Well, long about 5th, 6th grade, I guess, probably because people at school was like, hey, you know, making a little bit of fun of him or whatever. He made a personal decision, even at that point, that he was like, I am not going to be overweight my whole life, because he sees that, you know, his mom has struggled with her weight her whole life. You know, his uncles, and he's seen his grandmother on his mother's side, like truly struggle. Like, they don't overeat. They just have horrible fat retention. Like my wife says all the time, I could eat 10 pounds of lard and I still gonna weigh the same. She can walk past a bagel and gain 10 pounds. So, and it really is like, I can watch her do things, and it's like, you know, I see that she doesn't overeat. You know, it's just one of those things that her body.
Know, I got an aunt like that, and she's like, I got a thyroid problem.
I got a thyroid.
You got a laziness problem.
You got a laziness. Well, and you got a diet problem.
Yeah, and that too.
You
But,
got a
like,
diet
it's like you
problem.
can't be sitting there eating marshmallows and like
Exactly.
no,
Exactly.
you got to get up, move around a little bit. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
Well, and educate yourself on where fats come from, where
well, yes.
sugars come
And
from.
Which
It's like,
ones are good? Which
if you
ones
eat
are
a
not
big
so
bowl
great.
of spaghetti, well, let me tell you something. You eat that big bowl of spaghetti, your body does not know that is spaghetti. When it breaks those carbohydrates down, it knows it as glucose.
Yeah.
And if you have a weight problem, then that glucose is going to go to fat stores, and that's
Correct.
just the way it works.
Yep.
That's what happens.
It really depends on what kind of metabolism you have.
Yep,
like,
it
you
does.
know, look, when I grew up, you know, your coach would tell you the night before, go home, eat a big, you know, plate of pasta, spaghetti, whatever, and the next day you'd be all jazzed up and ready to play in a good way, right?
Yep.
Expand real good energy. So, it's weird how like a lot of this stuff's got mixed up along the way. I know I still continue on pretty much the way that I have since day one, and that's what's worked for me, and I'm going to continue doing it. You know what I mean? Because-
Absolutely.
oh,
Absolutely.
what a kind
I agree
comment.
with you.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Some people are just
Yeah, I mean, I like to push my buddies up sometimes. You know what I mean?
absolutely
I'll
fantastic.
say this one more thing about the soft drink. Look,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now. This is how bad it was for me. People used to say, "Chris, why you don't drink water?" You know what I used to tell them? I say this on my stream a little bit. I said I drink enough of this.
Yeah.
That was the amount of water that I'm taking. And they'd be like, "What the hell?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I mean that's just the truth."
I had a dude who used to say that to me too. I was like, bro, I don't think I'm drinking enough water. And he like handed me a Coke. And he's like, there's water and everything. I'm like, no. What? Where'd you go to school, dude? Like, you know what I mean? But once you're in it, you're in it. And it doesn't matter what it is, right? Like, once you're at that level, it's like the body is amazingly resilient, but it's also, it remembers things. And it's like, I need that amount now. Now I need more. And now I need more. And that's been my experience. And the weirdest thing is, like, it doesn't even create the saddest part, I guess I would say, is that eventually none of it works. That's the sad ending to this story. So for anybody that's like, you know, being like, oh, I'll just keep, you know, I'll take a little bit more, I'll take a little bit more. Eventually, one day, it just don't work. That's what happened to me. And it was like, regardless to whether I have it or I don't have it, I'm sick. And now I got other problems I really got to deal with, right? So, yeah. Oh, it's just so much love around here.
See that?
Thanks, Sean. Thanks, bud. I appreciate that.
I had to get one in. I had to.
Yeah, I know you did. I know you did.
All big letters. I was like, my imposable thumbs.
Yeah. I appreciate you making that banner up, man. I appreciate that, Sean.
It's the least
Thank you,
I can
man.
do. It's the
thank you.
least I can do.
I mean, that
you know?
does make me feel better, and I appreciate it.
It just, you know, I figured we needed winds of change.
I didn't know that you felt that way about me. I'm going to read it as it comes by. It says, Guy is awesome and handsome. Love from Sean. Thank you, Guy, for being the best ever. Well, that's nice of you, Sean. Thank you, man.
You know, you're welcome.
Thank you, man.
You know,
Thank
and
you.
just Shine, you're the best person I've ever met. Love, Guy. I mean, can we end on a higher
I
note?
mean, I just don't know how you can get any better than that.
It's
I'm
just two
feeling-
friends. Just two
I mean,
friends.
just two friends.
Just two
Just
friends.
just two friends
Talking.
frolicking,
Yeah.
frolicking around,
Telling some tales.
telling some tales.
And
Oh
just, you know,
man, but I appreciate you making that banner up for me. Thank you
no problem.
very much.
No problem.
Thank you
More
for
to
that,
come.
Sean.
More to come. Stay
Oh, I'm
tuned,
sure
folks.
there is. I'm sure there is. I can't wait to see it. Oh,
I know how to do stickers now. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
really ramping up.
don't threaten me with a good time.
Oh,
Don't
you
threaten
know,
me
it's
with a
all
good
like
time. I
Donkey
can
Kong,
make
baby.
stickers too, Daddy. I can make stickers too.
I sent some to my wife last night, and she's like, "When did you learn how to do this?" Because she
Yeah.
still thinks I'm like using a pickaxe to like
Yeah,
dig out the
yeah,
basement. You know what I mean? Where's
Hey, check
this
it.
Wi-Fi thing? I'm gonna
That's
find
it.
this Wi-Fi.
I can even do pop-ups, guys. Check it out.
Check this out. This man has been missing for the last 45 years, assumed to be insane. Watch out.
It's so much fun, man. Hey,
This and more.
appreciate it.
From 10 to 1 Eastern Standard Time. The Guy and Shine Show.
Thank
Well,
you.
Chris, it's been amazing.
Yeah,
Thanks for coming on. We have,
We're already 15 after 1, man.
we
Shout out to
are,
15
and my
after.
battery's about to die.
Yeah,
So
yeah. My batteries
Yeah.
have been dead. Oh, you know,
running on fumes, hopes and dreams.
I may have
folks.
started out that way this morning, to be honest with you.
Well,
you know.
you know,
Now, actually, it's
Every
been a
great
great
beginning.
morning. Went
It
by
has
like
been.
that. Got
Boom.
some good meat into the conversation. I like it.
did. Yeah.
Got some great comments in the comment section. Just good feedback comments. I like it. Got Gen
Yeah,
X here
it's been
laughing
cool.
till he cries. I guess he's seen the banner that you put up. And
Yeah,
Sean just he's
These
all
things,
the time
They
just
hit us, you know.
and
They hit
it's
us.
it's like fine, I mean,
Yeah, no. So
whatever.
it's-
Whatever. If you want to write those nice things about me and put them
Yeah.
across the screen, I'm not going to say no.
We are humble folk around
I
the
will-
Guy and Shine Show. So
Humility is important
you
in
know,
this game.
critical, I'd say. I
You
dare
have
say
to
critical.
know your audience, and we know that humbleness and being we just know that's how we
Yeah.
But we appreciate everybody here. Shout out to 10 people still in the house with us, Sean, and we got Chris the Flash here with us, been hanging out and just talking and doing a good thing. Encourage everybody, go see Chris the Flash. When are you doing your live streaming, brother?
Yeah, buddy.
Man, I stream every day, y'all. Like I said, I
Okay.
mostly after work. So I get off at 10. I'll probably get on probably 10:30, 11 o'clock. I'm off.
Okay.
So usually I'll stream at 7. Um, but yeah, I just stream, until I'm done streaming.
Right.
Uh, Usually on my days off, like I said, I stream for a long time, just to interact with everybody. And then, that's the way I show support too. So like while I'm streaming, maybe an hour or two while I'm in the streaming, I'll start checking everybody's videos and stuff like that. And I tell the chat, I'll be like, I'm not ignoring y'all. This is the only way I can show support to people,
Right.
while I'm streaming. So I mean, I like doing it. I mean, because like I said, it keeps me going on my stream. So you know, I don't know. I like doing it. I mean, I'm just like Guy when it comes to YouTube. So it's like I got it.
That's right.
So
Yeah, man. Well, that's what it's
I
about.
like it, and it's one of them things where you just find your pocket and you go with it. I mean, it's called YouTube because it's your decision as to what you do on YouTube. That's the beauty of it.
Yep.
Is like
Yep.
you get to choose for you, me and Shine get to choose for us, and
Yep.
everybody else gets to choose for them, and it all works because it's called YouTube. It's,
Yeah, man.
You put
Like,
what you want to do out, and
Yep.
that's that. I'm always supportive of someone doing what they want to do. Always super supportive of Chris the Flash because he's one of those people that just always Chris the Flash. Double tap that screen for you fellas. Hit the like button. Share
You
the
know
live
it.
stream out. Come on, guys, get with the program.
Yeah.
I mean, Chris the Flash said so. I mean,
Yeah, you heard it here first.
you heard it here first. Well, I
Well,
mean,
you heard it from him first.
you might have
and we
heard it from
kinda
him first,
took
but then we
and
heard it
now
first
we
after
do it
you heard
again,
it.
so,
Yeah,
you know.
right.
Yeah. All right.
You
Makes
spoke my
sense.
mind exactly,
Well,
Sean. Thank
Good.
you.
It was in perfect time.
It was.
Oh,
It's almost as if we're reading from a script.
almost.
No,
We don't got time for that. Ain't no time for that.
No. Basically,
We's
just
on
dancing,
schedule here. We got
dancing
songs
around
about
in the
ducks,
in the in the
uniforms,
vastness of
olives.
dancing around in the vastness of my mind is what I would call that.
tap dancing
I
on
hope that you
landmine.
find your way out one day.
Well, it is a barren wasteland in here
I'm gonna
full
tell you. Yeah, it's a knowledge desert.
of booby traps,
It's a knowledge desert.
loopholes.
If you
I
see
don't know where
something
to
that you
begin.
think is right in there, it's wrong.
I know.
It's wrong.
Think about it.
Clearly.
Think about it.
Clearly.
You will. No, you won't.
There's a problem with this. This is too right here. There's something wrong. There's something wrong.
Well,
But
you guys are welcome for another excellent show here at the Guy and
here
Shine
at the Guy and
Show
Shine Show,
with guests and friends. Chris
where we
Flash,
dive deep into
appreciate
Guy's
you.
empty vastness of his mind
The
and the
void,
wealth of
as we
knowledge that
call
he
it.
does not have. We
It's
will
all
spend
smoke and
hours.
mirrors, folks. All
We will
smoke and
spend
mirrors.
hours searching for that piece of knowledge that is actually in there. And it
And we
probably
have.
has something to do with how handsome he is.
Well, everyone's got an opinion.
Everyone's
They're
got an
entitled to it.
opinion.
So,
But hey, thanks to everybody. This is
Appreciate
Guy
you
and
guys.
Shine. We got Chris the Flash up here sending out good vibes to the community, to the world. Always is 10 to 1
Run 'em
Eastern
up.
Standard Time, and sometimes a little bit afterwards. 10 to 1 Eastern Standard Time. Guy and Shine. And we got Chris the Flash been hanging out with us today. Encourage everybody go support Chris the Flash. Everybody go support each other. Gen X, Melissa Bandy, Mom, and Missy, thank y'all for being here. Cam 123, I love the interaction. I love the way that I love that. Thank you. We push that up
yes,
around here.
absolutely.
Thank you. And Dan's Dribble, thank you for being here with Guy and Shine. Appreciate you. Brother William, thank you very much, all of you. And Frau, I see you there. Thank you for being
Still
here,
chilling?
everybody.
That's amazing. Awesome.
Rhonda in Alabama country, great feedback, love that. And AB, brother AB, I did not realize, but now that I do, I will be putting your son in my thoughts, and we'll always be lifting him up. So thank you for sharing that. Real odds and evens. Just so you all know, trust. It can be done and will be done. Got to cut any people who do it around you. Change fund. Absolutely.
80%
Sometimes you do.
of who you are is your environment.
Yeah.
Don't forget
Indeed.
that. That's a big old number. And yeah, if you need help, or we can help in any way, let us know. Because maybe, you know what I mean? And
Maybe.
there's always hope for a person. There's always hope. Just
Magic Healing. Thank
Yep.
you. I think she's on live now. So when you get off here, swing by
We're
and
in
see
room
Magic
there.
Healing.
Absolutely.
But
Go check
guys,
her out.
I think I've said everybody or tried to. Thank you to everyone. We got 11 people still in the house. Appreciate you guys coming by. We thank you, Chris, for being here with us, being a
bro,
part of
thank you.
everything, and always being in the comments. And usually first one in the comments. Usually.
That's why he's the Flash.
Yeah.
He's
Usually
here.
first
He's
one
there.
to
He's
leave.
everywhere.
Yeah,
The
man.
Flash.
I know when I first started. Now, quick story. When I first started, there was a couple of them like him, and well, I mean, I'll name him because he's here.
Yeah.
But there was a couple others that I'd be like, man, I just seen them.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And then boom.
yeah, and I'd be like, I'm over here, and I'm like, man, I only got
How'd
one.
you do
Like,
that?
yeah, how in the hell are they doing that? How did he get from there to here? He's commenting at the same time that he was commenting over here.
Well, the answer is simple. He's the Flash.
He's the Flash.
That's it.
And I'm like, well, yeah, apparently he named himself properly. I should have named myself Guy the Slow.
There's so many words that came in my head.
Yeah, I was like, there ain't no way, ain't gonna happen. But now though, I do kind of understand how you guys are able to use your devices and be able to separate, and that's helpful. It's helpful
It is
when
helpful.
you know
It is helpful. Yeah.
to multi-support. So shout out to everybody. Shout out to you, Sean Diggs. Shout out to you, Chris the Flash. We appreciate you. We appreciate everybody in the chat. You know, I thank you guys. It'll be tomorrow, 10 to 1 Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow is what, Friday or Thursday? Tomorrow's Thursday.
Friday.
Tomorrow's Friday.
Tomorrow's Friday.
Yep.
Tomorrow's finally Friday. Shout out to
God
Friday.
is
Thank you, Fridays.
Man, shout out
Only
to
10
Friday.
to 1 Eastern Standard Time. And with that, you all have a beautiful, lovely day.
I'll
Tell
see
the
y'all
ones
backstage.
that you love, and we'll see you on the other side.
Yep. Have a good one, Chris.
vibes.
You can stay and talk backstage here too if you want.
Okay.
Good vibes, everybody. I've been in a hurry since I don't know when. Gotta bring it on back. Start over again. Yeah, I'll bring it on back to a nice old pace. The kind where a guy like me wins a race. You slow it on down. Take the time it takes to take a real good look around. Yeah, I'll bring it on back to a nice old pace. The kind where a guy like me wins a race. Well, I got me a woman, yeah, she's better than most. Yeah, I get the space I need to really cut loose. Yeah, she slows it on down to a nice old pace. The kind where a guy like me wins a race. You slow it on down. Take the time it takes to take a real good look around. Yeah, I'll bring it on back to a nice old pace. The kind where a guy like me wins a race. Slow it on down. Take the time it takes to take a real good look around. Yeah, I'll bring it on back to a nice old pace. The kind where a guy like me wins a race. Let's slow it down. Slow it on down, guys. Good vibes on you. Always good vibes. Always good vibes on to all of my beautiful people out there. Appreciate you guys. Have a great day.